There we are. I think we're live. Hey, gang.
What's going on?
All right.
Hey.
So yeah, Matt, we buy the cases of like the clementines from Wegmans.
Oh yeah.
Our kid loves them. Just loves them. And then we tried what was it the sumo oranges? They're like they got the little bulbs on top. Those things are pretty good. They're really tart though.
I'm a big fan of the mandarins just because I like them. I think they just taste a little bit better than just a base regular clementine for me. But
Right.
I mean, and this is probably one of the reasons why the kid digs them. They're like literally the easiest things in the universe to peel. It's not like peeling a regular orange. They're like literally floating inside the rind. So it's like you crack off a couple pieces, they just fall out, and you just tore from down. So yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
Nice. What are you peeps drinking this evening?
I am drinking Athletic Brewing, non-alcoholic beer. It is their Upside Dawn, which is a base golden ale. I'm drinking regular beer again. I like this. So
I mean, you found something you like. Why not?
a bunch of it. Yeah, I just ordered a bunch, 3 more 6-packs, last night or the day before. Yeah.
Nice. Keith, what are you drinking?
I just reviewed 2 beers. The first one I reviewed is this one. It is Flying Fish, which is where in New Jersey? Summerdale. So that's somewhat local to us. I think that's central New Jersey. It's a coffee at India Pale Ale. It was pretty good. And then I also picked this up. It is.
How was it? I'm curious.
Oh, okay.
It was good, and then it I don't know,
Lost its carbonation quick and got flabby and flat or something.
Well, it was a little. I'd say it was a little thin, but so it was cold when I first opened it, and so I was trying to warm it up a little bit, and then after I did that, the mint completely fell off, completely went away. I don't know if it was just a palate thing, but I don't know. It was okay. It wasn't worth the price though.
Fun fact about Flying Fish. 2 things real quick before we get to Dan and what he's drinking. Is that Flying Fish is owned by the Scranton Times, so it's actually owned by a Pennsylvania newspaper.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they're one of the breweries that does that thing where they're like, hey, we would love for you to review our beer, but you need to hashtag this and post 5 things of this and do this. And I'm like, yeah, no. Gotcha. Yeah, they're one of those breweries, and and their beers aren't that bad. I've actually had a few Flying Fish, and they're quite good. They do that really cool big bottle series, the Exit series. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You've probably seen them, Keith, and they do really fun beers through that. Yeah. But cool brewery.
Nice. So as Keith was talking, I didn't even notice. So I cracked this open. And Keith's talking, I'm interested. I look down, and the beer's just gushing. I'm like, okay, so that's the thing. I'm glad I have this towel here. It's completely soaked. So this is 3 Philosophers. But
okay.
It's from...
Oh, my God.
I want to say 2020. It says... I got it last year. It says Best by 9/29/24. So... I'm not. There's a bottle on date, but it's kind of 9/29/20.
Yeah,
really hard to see. They don't do a great job.
So they give you 4 years. That beer will age way longer than 4 years.
Yeah, I found a couple of them in the mix of 6-pack at Wegmans. I was like, looking at the date, I was like, okay, I'll take it.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, dude.
That's just the base one, right? Because I know I know they did a. Was it that year? Was it 2020 that they did those variants? They had the blueberry one, and
they do a bunch of variants. They do a bunch of barrel aged versions and chocolate. And I think they do a coffee one. Is that the coffee one? I believe they do. But that's actually one of my biggest biggest kind of like not regrets, but I've never been to Omegang. I haven't been there yet, and I'm kind of upset that I haven't gone.
Yeah, I'd like to go there. I've talked
Considering
about it
it's like
many
down the street
times.
from the Baseball Hall of Fame too. It's like two places I'd
Right.
want to hit at the same time. You know.
Right. Speaking of Baseball Hall of Fame, I'll leave that for later, but I do want to talk about that real quick, at least with you.
Oh, you don't want to talk
Box-
with Keith about baseball?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah,
No?
you're out of it. Bill Bach, did I miss the citrus conversation? No, we were just preparing to be live, and Matt talked about his unhealthy addiction to mandarin oranges as of late. Satsuma mandarins.
Yeah, see, I just buy the cheapest ones I could find.
Yeah.
I'm one of those. Like, there's certain things that... Actually, I was going to say there's certain things that I only eat the good stuff or drink the good stuff, and that's not true. You know, I'll drink High Life, so it's not like I'm drinking, like, all super crazy beer all the time. I'm that same way with food. Sometimes, like, every morning, my coffee... I drink Folgers Dark Silk. That's what I drink. I think it's delicious. I don't need any kind of artisanal pooped out of a cat stuff. It just tastes good to me. I'm good. I love good coffee. Like, I love it. But I don't love it like I do good beer. So, I'll drink shitty beer more often than I drink good beer. Well, mandarins, I'm just like, I understand. Satsuma, whatever. Mandarins are probably awesome. But they also probably are not $5.99 for 5 pounds. Because if I ate Satsuma oranges mandarins the way I eat these mandarins, it'd be worse than my beer kind of thing going on. I'd waste way more money on that. So yeah. What are you drinking, Bill? Bill's always bringing the heat when it comes to he's probably drinking like Hill Farmstead or something crazy right now.
Beer Menno. Hey,
What's up, homie?
hey guys, here with Beer Menno. Cheers, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah, Mark
butchering
and
that.
yeah, the good guys from over the Netherlands.
Matt, I'll let you pronounce it. I don't know what the frick that is.
Herdog Jan.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah. Austin, Belgian. Yeah, this drinking pretty good. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm never a huge Omegang fan because they're Duvel owned, so a bulk of what they do has Duvel yeast in it. But Three Philosophers I've always enjoyed because they throw that splash of the creek in there, and I think that it adds like a little extra little kind of twist to it.
Honestly, I think I got into Omegang when they started making the Game of Thrones beers.
Yeah.
I was like, I obviously was a fan of the show and wanted to try it. So that original blonde ale they made for the Lannisters, that was good stuff. I enjoyed it.
I've had a couple of them. I don't remember them though. To be perfectly honest with you.
Green State Lager. That's a good one.
Yeah, Bill's drinking the Green State Lager. That's shabby. There you go.
Nice. Yeah. So let's alienate Keith just for a second. What are your thoughts on the whole Bonds and Clemens and the rest of the Yahoos not getting in on the last year?
I mean, it's kind of dumb, because they just scapegoat the shit out of those people when it was like obviously it was rampant, and obviously, with Big Papi being connected and absolutely 100% proofed steroid user to let him in, and then not let the other guy. You know what I mean? It's like you know what I mean? Like he was the other guys had to go to like a hearing about steroids, so they're a little bit more in the face. But the same materials that existed for them that brought them to the hearing, the justice case that was up, and then just so happens that Poppy is kind of after. It's just a bunch of bullshit because if you let that steroid juice and freak in, then you should let the other guys in. I mean, honestly, who didn't do it? There's obviously people that didn't do it. Can I tell you who? I don't know. Besides Griffey and maybe Jeter, everybody else probably did it. But it's also But it's also that argument's been the same thing with Pete Rose for a billion years. Like the dude, he should be in too. But
I don't like the voting system. I don't like how it's just the writers that I don't know.
No, man. Like that's the dumbest shit. Like baseball's so freaking dumb. Like it's so dumb, man. Like the baseball writers, like that one person who didn't vote for Jeter's, like you just trying to be that guy. Like you really just trying to be that guy. And then the same thing goes with umpires. Like umpires try to show up people are there to see them. Like umpires have legitimately said like, "Oh, people are there to see us too," and be like, "No, they're fucking not, dude. No one gives a shit about you. You give a shit about you." You know what I mean? Country Joe West or whatever the fuck your name is.
I think the only ref in the history of sports that I'm like, that dude's cool. It's just because of Ed Hockley, the guns, Just
Yeah, no, I mean, there's been some good. Hockley is cool. There's been a couple cool Premier League refs. There's been some really good ones in the NFL, but there's been some bad ones. NBA has had some really bad refs. I mean, outside of that guy with the whole betting scandal, there's been some really bad ones. But baseball is 100% taking a cake, and it's honestly, it is the one thing where the refs don't really need to exist. You know what I mean? Like it's not like football to where there's constant things going on. You're not sure what's going to happen where. It is literally strike zone can be computer controlled. You know what I mean? Foul fair can be computer controlled. You know what I mean? Like, base runners out or safe can just be, replay instigated. There really is no reason for an ump to be there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The whole Bonds thing, I guess, and we'll switch subjects after this so Keith doesn't get bored. But the whole Bonds thing is like, before dude got built, before he was a Hulk, like, he was doing really good numbers. You know what I mean? When he was in the Pirate, like, it's not like he sucked and then he started taking steroids and he was just magically awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But even if you take, I mean, yeah, sure, the dude got gigantic. A lot of people, I mean, probably got gigantic. All those steroid huge guys got gigantic. But you also have to understand, Bonds went from playing in Pittsburgh and that shit ass piece of shit field to where he goes over to the San Fran field, changes his body shape to just rake homers out of that left field area. And it's not the same. Like, he couldn't do that in Pittsburgh if he wanted to. Like if you were to strip steroids from the equation, he would want to be a power hitter in San Fran. He wouldn't want to be one in Pittsburgh in the way their stadium's kind of laid out. So if you just take that into account, the best thing I did see about this whole baseball thing before we leave it, though, is that's, the whole baseball Hall of Fame thing. Like, technically they're done. But if, like the Giants or for Clemens, whoever, Yankees, whatever, just signed them and then had them play one at bat, then it resets their Hall of Fame counter. Do you know what I mean? Like just have some team just sign them, put them in for one at bat, and then take them out, and then be like, then boom, then they go back to 5 years from now they could be, and then just reset their Hall of Fame counter, and that would be pretty.
When
funny.
you said that, the first thing that popped in my head was Mr. 3000.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
That's the first thing I hit. Right there.
Yeah.
God bless that, man. God bless that.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. So what have you guys been up to? Just Matt, how are you reacting to that first night of having the beers or whatever?
It was cool, man. It was cool. It was fun. It wasn't I mean, the whole experience, because it's like, I did dry January, not last year, but the year prior. This time it was more like 2.5 months as opposed to 30 days or whatever, 31 days. Because when I did dry January last time, typically, I've done it a couple times, and typically I do like a halfway into January to halfway into February, because my birthday's on January 13th, and usually I'm like, I want to go out for my birthday and have some beers and whatnot. But this time it was like before Thanksgiving to, the other day, and it was just whatever, I had fun with the NA stuff, and it was cool, man. Like, the beers are fun. It was just, the whole purpose of it was kind of, like I said, again, to get a little healthier, but also kind of reshape my drinking habits. And
right.
It was actually, like I said, I've said it in previous chats, I would drink, review a couple beers, and I'd go play some video games, finish review beers, and have a couple more beers. Now it's just like have 1 or 2 beers, and then maybe have another, and then...
Yeah. What was it that first night? Did you do the Goldfinger Hot Butcher?
That gigantic 3 liter, 1.5 liter bottle. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And did you do that barley wine in the same night from Steven?
Yes, I did that. Yes, I did.
Ooh,
but I didn't.
That's a hell of a return, man.
Oh yeah, well, you're also assuming that I drank both of those completely. You know what I mean? Like the barley one, I
yeah,
drank a little bit more to Santa
yeah,
Claus because I couldn't do it that dirty. But
right.
that 1.5 liter, I drank 2 glasses of that. You know what I mean? That was yeah, yeah. So it was a lager and then a barley wine.
Oh.
It was my first foray back in, and so.
Clayton, what up, guys? Hey, crazy stat I saw the other day. If he took every home run away from Bonds
Yeah.
and made them strikeouts, his OBP on base percentage is still higher than Big Poppy's.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw that one floating around too.
yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I've been just chilling. Finally got around to starting Lost in Space season 3.
The old one?
No, the new one.
I
On
didn't even know they
Netflix.
made a new one.
Oh yeah. There's I think this season is the last season. It's on Netflix. It's pretty good. It's not bad. Kind of been putting it off, I suppose. I really want to go see Jackass. I was hoping Jackass would be on some of the, streaming platforms, but guess not.
Yeah, that whole thing sucks. Where the movies are in the movies now. I
Yeah,
had to download a cam copy of the Spider-Man movie.
a lot of them are like I wanted to see Nightmare Alley, and Nicole was on Netflix or Hulu, and she's like, "Hey, isn't that movie you wanted to watch? It was just in theaters." I'm like, "Oh shit, it is." So,
Dude.
oh, there you go.
I
Matt.
wonder if
Comment for you.
Oh, thanks, brother.
I wonder if the less like hyped movies are going to streaming platforms quicker than some of the other ones.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know like certain like Warner Brothers had that contract with HBO. I don't know about the
Yeah,
other one.
it's just purely based off of. Will people go to the movies? People will now, so they're gonna go. You know what I mean? They had no other choice before, but now people will go. You know, and they want they want movies in the theaters. That's it.
Yep.
Like even like you could see from like whatever Scarlett Johansson's like lawsuit. She basically sued Sony or Marvel because her movie didn't go into theaters, and the whole reason like she sued was she had this big huge kind of like, okay, I get this percentage of theater sales. Well, they were like, well, it wasn't in theaters, so you don't get nothing. She's like, no,
Yeah.
go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? So they were like, so they settled on that stuff. So there's a lot of people that do that, and you're not going to make as much money in these watch from home deals. So
I just watched that movie too, Black Widow. Finally got around to it.
yeah,
Like-
I have no desire to see it. There's a bunch of like I've cherry pick Marvel. What I want to watch and what I haven't, like I've never seen Doctor Strange because I don't like him as a character. Like Black Widow, I always found kind of boring. Like still haven't seen Captain Marvel. There's certain ones that is like even like when I go back and rewatch. Like I watched the first Iron Man, I'm cool with skipping to like Thor. I might watch. Ragnarok, but the other ones can go suck a bee. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. It's pretty much all the Avengers movies and Captain America and then a couple of ones.
Yeah, I'm not dying to see them all, but it's like certain ones, like now they're streaming on Disney Plus. It's like if I got some time to kill, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Let's pop it on. I mean, what's the worst that happens? I don't like it. I shut it off.
I have actually it's hard for me, man. I constantly want to just watch the Avengers movies in a loop constantly. That's all I want to watch all the time. Like I would just want to watch like basically Captain America, the original Iron Man, Captain America's, and all the Avenger movies in a loop. I'm cool with that. Like I when I get to the end, let's just start it over again. I could do that all the time because I think it's just entertaining as hell. So I fight myself on that too, where I'm like, don't watch it. Like right now, I'm just like, okay, I'm trying to find something to watch. Is like I usually watch 3 different things. I watch a movie in rotation. I have like hour-long TV show in rotation, and I have that 30-minute sitcom that can play randomly, and I don't have to pay as much attention to if I really don't want to. So right now, 30 Rock. I'm rewatching 30 Rock. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a fun one. I like that show.
Yeah.
What about you, Keith? You watch anything? What do you do?
Basically, for myself, I basically only watch YouTube videos of whatever. Been watching a lot of Whose Line Is It Anyway YouTube videos,
Nice.
metal detecting and coin related YouTube videos. I watch a lot of Penn and Teller Fool Us YouTube videos.
I've been trying to get into that. Some of the acts are really cheesy, but some are mad
Yeah.
cool. You know.
As far as like stuff that I actually watch, it's mostly Katie stuff that she wants to watch, and I watch with her. We watched a bunch of the Queer Eye show. We watched a bunch of. We watched the new season of Cheer. We watched. I think there was something else we watched recently. But usually, if we just put like stuff on just to like have in the background, we'll watch like regular show or Bob's Burgers, or there might be another one. I don't know.
Nice.
Hold on.
Yeah.
The cat's being a fucking ass.
Nicole's addicted to like what the hell is it? 90 Day Fiance.
My wife watches that, man.
There's like 20 different spin-offs. It's out of control. So she pays for the Discovery thing or whatever. And I'm like, what are you watching? This 90 Day Fiance? She's like, no, this is 90 Day After the Fiance or something. I'm like, oh, okay.
I actually, and this is the other show that I've been watching in the background, I actually just subscribed to Discovery Plus because one of my favorite game shows of all time, Cutthroat Kitchen with Alton Brown, is on there.
Oh, all right.
It's a cooking program. I don't know if you've ever even heard of it before.
Yeah, I'm a huge Alton Brown fan.
Yeah, but I love that show. And there's like 15, 18 seasons or something. So I was like, screw it. I'm like,
I didn't know there was that many. Holy shit.
Yeah, there's a crazy amount of seasons on that. So I'm like, popped it on. So that's another one. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh. It's on, I don't know if it's on Discovery Plus or Disney, but we watched all of the like Draining the Ocean or whatever it's called. I don't know, but it's
that
pretty cool.
Sounds really actually cool.
Yeah. What is it? Just talking about the topography of the ocean and stuff like that.
It's like a kind of like a history thing ish kind of, because there's different ones like sometimes they talk about like World War II ships that sank and they have no idea what happened, and then like they take boats out and they do like sonar, and then they reconstruct it digitally so that they can like actually like kind of recreate it. It's cool.
I would see. I'm really into like deep ocean stuff. Like that stuff has always interested me. And I'm thinking like nowadays, like Elon Musk and all that, like, oh, let's Mars this. Like we haven't even discovered all of our ocean. Like Elon, put some of your money into the ocean.
Yeah,
it's mad easier to go to Mars than it is to go to the super deep parts of the ocean, though. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like in space, you're in a vacuum. You know, in the ocean, to go deep. You know, you're and that's like I'm afraid when I dive under the water 2 feet. You know, but yeah, man, like but yeah, no, I love that stuff. You know, Abyss is a great movie, and just all that deep sea water stuff is just super intriguing.
Yeah, I'm always like watching like documentaries on all that stuff and like stupid stuff like Atlantis and all that, and I'm like, it interests me. But I'm like you, Keith. I watch a lot of YouTube. I treat YouTube almost like it's cable.
Yeah,
like I just find documentaries out there and shit. Just get to watching it.
Did you see they just found that shipwreck off the coast of New England? That famous shipwreck. It's like they've been looking for 250 years for it.
Oh, Mike's getting on. No.
Yeah, it's who is it? It's shipwreck. It just came down this week, I think.
We got some comments. One. Alt beer action. Yeah,
that'd be me. What was the name of the shipwreck? Oops.
I did just read a thing like the Titanic's gonna be gone pretty soon.
No, it's Captain Cook. like the famous Captain Cook. He is like he's an Australian like captain, and his ship got sunk in like the war, like 1770 or something like that, off the coast of New Hampshire or something like that, and they've never found it until like this weekend or something like that.
Shit.
There it is.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Did
they just confirm that or something?
Well, they say there's some people are saying like, oh, it's not confirmed, but it's like people are like, no, it technically it's not confirmed yet, but they're like it is what it is. Like, yeah.
Well, because I found a article from 2018 that says shipwreck off New England could be Captain James Hook's Lost Endeavor, or unless this is a different thing.
If this is actually Peter North, and I don't know what else to say. It's this is kind of like YouTube history for me. I like honestly, this is like I don't think this is actually Peter North.
Wait.
But if you could prove it, this is honestly like a tentpole moment in history for my channel. It's by far and away the coolest thing that's ever happened to my channel that you've stopped by. I can't believe it. That's how much I don't believe it's you, because I can't believe that Peter North would ever find my channel, and let alone comment on it. So send me if you're actually Peter North, send me an email and prove that shit, because I'm gonna paste this shit all over the universe. Because I'm awestruck and starstruck by you, my friend. You were oh no, I'm not joking about. He says, well, adult film stars are people too and can chat. I understand that, brother. I'm just saying, I'm a fan of your work, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit starstruck. So it's not so much that you can't be people too. It's just that. It's like, if Beyonce just said, hey, Beyonce, I'm Beyonce. I'm watching your beer reviews. I'd be like, go stuff an egg. So, anyway.
You click on that next.
Yeah,
click on that next.
Yeah. I believe it more now. Cheers, brother. Anyway, I don't even know what to say. Did we just end the chat now? That can't get better.
Yeah, we just end it. We're going, right? You can't top that, right?
Mike should be on pretty soon, he said. So
I will say this though, because I definitely don't shut up. YouTube, because I've been hitting YouTube. Like I always watch YouTube for random shit, but I've been like. Every night I'm spending 4 or 5 hours on YouTube, because today I ordered my she shed, and I've been doing like YouTube videos and tutorials on how to like do all the labor myself, like a lot of the stuff, like you have to build this foundation of gravel and all this kind of crazy stuff, and then how to run electrical and how to like basically how to build a house. Is basically what I've been doing on YouTube for the past like 2 weeks nonstop.
Just for any reason, or just for funsies?
Well, no, I'm getting a shed. I ordered a 10 by 20 shed. I'm gonna convert it into an office.
Oh.
So my studio, because this is gonna be Micah's room, and he's gonna be a year old in a month and a half. So sooner or later he's gonna need his own room. He's still in our bedroom, so we're logistically thinking about where to move him, and I was like, just put him in my studio room. I'm like, I was going to build an office in the barn. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know if it would work out well. And then we found a really good deal on like a shed. It's like a really nice shed. It's like enough where you could put like a loft bed in it and stuff like that, and all that kind of stuff. And it'll not just fit my studio, but also fit my like home theater in there too. So that way I can watch my movies all loud AF. So that way I'll have like a little office out there. So it's like, I know I had to do a lot of stuff. My dad taught me how to like drywall and like run electrical and do all that kind of stuff. I haven't utilized it in many, many years, but there's a lot of stuff I don't know. So it's been a lot of like just trying to learn everything I possibly can about stuff so I can do it mostly on my own.
Clayton says last time he was on here, we were talking about gaming and how we can't play for longer than like 2 hours at a time. Just bought Farming Simulator 19. Can't put it down. Hey, more power to you, man. I've never played Farming Simulator. I'm huge into simulation games. Like I love all the, the city skylines, all, Banished stuff like that. Just 2 Point Hospital, whatever it is.
Yeah, I never got into those, but
yeah, I mean,
all the people I know who get into them are just like super into them. But
yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
never
I
done
can
this.
crack out and play City Skylines. I'll get on. Next thing I know, 4 hours is gone by. I'm like, oh shit.
Well, that's the thing. Those sim things, like I used to when I was a kid, I used to be really addicted to Command and Conquer. I don't know if you guys ever played that, where it was like you build a base and you have to fortify it and all that. I mean, there's really no difference between that and like Farming Simulator. You're basically, you know what I mean, kind of doing that stuff. Oh, awesome! Yeah, sub, dude. I'll sub back and let's do a live video and we'll drink some beers together. Fuck yeah.
Me and my buddy, we got a realm. We play the shit out of Minecraft. I love Minecraft.
Yeah.
I'll get on there and spend hours on it.
But I beat Halo. I beat the new Halo, a couple weeks ago, and
I've yet to play it.
And I started my playthrough of Last of Us. So I just last night finished Last of Us 1, and tonight I will probably start Last of Us 2.
That's coming to. Is that on PC yet? It's either coming to PC or it's on PC yet.
No, you're thinking of Uncharted.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, the Uncharted 4 Thief's End, and their spin-off, which is the Chloe and Fraser movie, with one which is, I forget what the name of it is. There's 2 games coming to PC. That's not going to be till end of the year, I believe. So it just came out for PlayStation 5, okay. But the PC ports aren't coming out until later in the year, if not 2023. And I'm gonna. That's the other game I do a lot of playthroughs. So BioShock, I do a playthrough about once a year. Metal Gear once a year. Uncharted once a year, and Last of Us once a year. And when I get a firm date on Uncharted, I will start a playthrough. So when the PC releases, I can do it on my PC because I cannot wait to play it on PC.
I might buy God of War. See, I stopped PlayStation at PS2, so like all those releases I've never played. So I tried buying, was it Detroit Become Human?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Oh. Yeah,
and the PC port was a goddamn wreck, man. It would crash. Like, I got a pretty good PC. There's no reason for it to be crashing. And then I looked at all the reviews, and other people were having the same issue with like rigs better than mine. So it was just a bad port.
I remember I had an Xbox for a little while years ago, and Half-Life 2, they had Half-Life 2 on Xbox, but it was not great.
Yeah, I just beat I beat Far Cry 6, played that. And then there was so I love Skyrim, and these people made a mod for Skyrim, but then Bethesda got all weird about it, so they stopped doing it and they made their own independent game. It's called Lost Civilization, I think it is, and it's basically like a giant add-on for Skyrim, and it's freaking awesome, man. I had to play the shit out of that. About a 10-hour game, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I can't mess with those kind of games like the Skyrims, the Witchers, the more RPG heavy element games. I never click with them. I need a little bit more kind of like the Dishonored, BioShocky. If I'm going to do
sort of
light.
open, but kind of leads you.
Yeah, a little bit more linear. Yeah, a little on rails and stuff like that.
Yeah, Dishonored was really good too.
I just bought it again. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. I just bought it for the first time because it would steal everything, and I'm gonna rerun through them. I got 1 and 2.
Did you check out Deathloop?
No.
If you like Dishonored, you should really check out Deathloop. PlayStation exclusive, and I guess it's really good, and it's made by the guys who make Dishonored.
Okay. I'll definitely give it a whirl.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of games I need to get through. I found this like stackable deal on PC gaming. So I got PlayStation, what is it? Xbox Game Pass for the PC.
Yep. Yep.
And I found a thing where I could get it for 4 months for $2.
Nice. Yeah. Why
So
not?
that I'm trying to rip through all the games on there as fast as I can. I went and bought a flight stick so I can play a lot of Flight Simulator and stuff like that.
Nice. I used to have the Sidewinder because I used to play Mech Warrior back in the day. With
Oh, okay.
That was fun.
I bought like one like with like a throttle and a whole.
Oh, nice.
Hanger. Yeah.
Dude, do you remember that old game? It was a mech game, Steel Battalion, and it came with a huge freaking rig.
Yeah,
That thing was out of control. Clayton, I definitely need to get a good PC rig. You're gonna pay just mainly for graphics card nowadays. I love my PS5, but so many more possibilities on PC. Yeah, there is, but I mean, if you want decent gaming, honestly, with the market for like graphics card and stuff, you really can't go wrong with a PS5 or a Series X or even a Series S. I mean, if you just want to nail out some games, you know what I mean? Like, if you're looking for mods and stuff, yeah, obviously PC.
but I think his reasoning is exactly what I have. So I have a PlayStation. My gaming setup is a PlayStation 3, PlayStation 5, and a gaming PC. With that setup, I practically can play anything I want because almost 100% exclusivity on Xbox comes to PC. So you're always going to be able to play pretty much everything that comes out on Xbox on PC. Actually, you can. With Game Pass, you can do cloud gaming with stuff that only comes out. And then with PlayStation, you get all those exclusives. So I was kicking myself in the ass. So I built a new computer right before the pandemic, and before all that stuff happened, and I was kind of kicking myself in the ass because I built a Ryzen 3900X with a 2080 Super. And I was kind of like, man, you shouldn't really do the 2080 Super now because a 3000 series is going to come out. But which is true because it's so much better of a graphics card for the money. But everything went through the roof and you can't get one. So I bought something thinking I'm kind of wasting my money, but I literally bought it right before everything went ape shit. So I got super freaking lucky.
That's the way to do it, man. Like,
yeah.
Part of me, I'm like, do I pony up the money for one of the new ones, and then I can still make good bank off my 2070 Super and kind of recoup some of the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, so I feel bad because my nephew is a gamer, and he every so often, every 5 or so years, he says, "Hey, can you help me build a gaming PC?" And I said, yeah, I'll definitely do that. You know, and he's older now, so almost all the money comes from his pocket, not his family or parents or whatever, so he's a little bit more stingy. And then he's like, and I upgraded from a 1070 to a 2080 Super. I helped him build his rig, but right when that was happening is when shit went ape shit, and then there was no graphics card to be had. So I just lent him. I'm like, oh, take my 1070 until you can get a card, and that was a year and a half ago. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I could sell that thing. It's like, it's never going to be more valuable than it is right now because just the way things are. But I'm like, I can't be like, hey, give me my graphics card back so you can't game. So for all intents and purposes, it's his now. I just don't care anymore. But whatever.
Yeah, I have Clayton says there's a mod to build a brewery. There's a mod for Farming Simulator to build a brewery, or is that a different game, Clayton?
I would assume it's.
I would assume it's probably Farming Simulator, but it's a mod to where you can build a brewery and produce beers.
I mean, because they have the simulators for everything nowadays.
Yeah,
I guess that'd be kind of cool. Like,
they have a simulator to build a gaming simulator, like a gaming computer. Which is, I don't know how they could. What is that even? Like, it's like putting Legos together. Like, how do you lose at that?
I don't know. No, but yeah, man. So I don't have a PlayStation, but I have a Nintendo Switch, which I rarely use. That's a shame. I still should play Zelda on there. But yeah, Microsoft is knocking it out of the park, dude. The whole Game Pass thing like I have Game Pass Ultimate, so the games I have for Xbox, for the PC or whatever, and then you have
Yeah, it's the same thing I have.
yeah. Where you can. I can play on my Xbox and certain games I can just pick right up on my PC, and it's just there's certain games on PC that obviously aren't available for Xbox or whatever. But yeah, Microsoft, they're really nailing it. Like, if you want to be a hater of Xbox, that's fine, but you cannot hate on Microsoft because they're opening the doors for everyone to play whatever game you want, wherever you want. Like I just
well, that's not entirely true. They're making it so you can play on your Xbox or your Windows PC, which is both of their proprietor. You know what I mean? Like, you're saying that you can play it anywhere. You can play it on an Xbox, Microsoft Xbox, or you can play it on your Microsoft.
I can play my Xbox right on my iPhone.
How often do you play a full-fledged game on your phone?
That's me. I'm just saying.
Nobody does, unless you're from Japan.
Bullshit.
And they're all playing Nintendo.
Dude, all the kids nowadays, that's all they play on is their fucking phone.
Well, and this is, and as a gaming person who's in the know, you will know this to be true, is that they're doing a lot of this part and parcel because they were getting smoked by Sony. They're getting smoked by Sony in first-party exclusives as far as quality.
It's a dick swinging contest between
No. But I'm saying Microsoft wants to make money. Everybody wants to make money. Yeah. You know, that's the whole purpose of those two companies. So what they're doing out, their whole I'm buying, this company, I'm buying that company, is so they can make up ground. It's not because they're trying to create the best gaming experience for the people out there. They're like, well, if we don't do something big, we're going to lose fans. So we have to do this. Otherwise, we're going to be screwed.
I think listen, I obviously they're running a business, but I think when Phil Spencer came to head of Microsoft, he made it a point to say, listen, we need to be able to get these games in everyone's hands that we possibly can. How do we do that? And they came up with Game Pass. Like, Game Pass is bottom line the best value. But
Game Pass, and this is, but the thing is, Game Pass, they didn't invent Game Pass. Everybody has tried their swing at Game Pass. You know what I mean? Like, whether it be
who's the only one around, Game Pass.
But again, well, if you count Apple, they're way bigger than everybody. But as far as gaming costs, as far as the money they make, the whole nine mobile gaming, like, they just crush everybody. But Microsoft, if you were to strip Apple from the equation, or for a better conversation, if you were to strip mobile phone from the equation, the biggest user base is Microsoft, from hardware and software, from Windows to Xbox. So it makes sense that they're going to win at it. You know what I mean? Like, with Steam coming out with the Steam box, they're going to try. I don't think it's going to work out all that well. Google's tried it with Stadia. There's been a bunch of people that are trying to do these things that just didn't have the infrastructure, the already built infrastructure. You can't be like, well, Microsoft did it really well, so that's why there's one. No, it's the same thing with Apple. The Apple apps and all those kind of things exist and work really well because they have a huge user base. And that's why Microsoft is working.
But even before Game Pass, though, like, what I'm saying is, like, Microsoft was one of the first to adopt, and they did it really well, is saying, hey, backwards compatibility. Let's get this done. We realize you have this new generation. Not a lot of people want to buy all these new games. Let's let them slide their games over. I'm saying as a whole, I think.
But see, that's the thing. I would argue that their push for backwards compatibility is solely based on Sony's not giving a shit about it. Like they were like, listen, we're second place when it comes to console gaming. We have to do backwards compatibility, otherwise we won't have that little bit of leg up. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, if they were crushing Sony, they would be like, we don't give a shit. Let's not do backwards compatibility so people have to buy new hardware. But they're like, no, we need every advantage we can have in the console wars, so we have to make this a feature.
If I am a parent, but my child isn't of age yet. But if my child was of age where he's getting into gaming or whatever, and he says, I want to play these games. And I say, oh, shit. Okay. So this could get expensive, right? Because you're buying games 65, $70 a pop. On the market today, if I look at Steam, if I look at Sony, if I look at Microsoft, if I look at Nintendo, I'm probably leaning towards one of the platforms that has access to Game Pass or something like that, because it's the most value for me. And for my child, I can say, okay, here, I'm paying $20 a month. You have hundreds of games, go at it. Whereas certain other platforms like Nintendo or whatever, oh, you're done with that game? Okay, let me go pay $40-$50 for the next game. Oh, wait, let me do that again. You know, I just...
So
it's
what
a
you're
good value.
saying...
That's all I'm saying. It's a really good value for what you
So
get.
what you're saying is, if, like, let's say you're into some kind of, like, niche interest, like, I don't know, beer, you would just pick the one where you can get the most of the stuff that you can get rather than the better quality stuff?
That doesn't correlate to this.
Why?
Because there's really good quality on Microsoft.
But you're just saying, you literally just said you just want the best bang for your buck.
Bottom line is I'll take Microsoft platforms over Sony because I get more quality and more and more and more for way less money.
Okay.
Listen, anyone watching the stream is quite clear on what's going on here. You're a PlayStation fanboy. I'm an Xbox fanboy.
That's not
That's
true.
all that is.
I'm
Sure
stating facts. You're just getting offended by them.
No, I said Xbox Game Pass is a great value, and all of a sudden you made it a battle against Sony.
No, I didn't say it's a great. I didn't say it's a great value. I said I have it. What are you talking about? What I'm saying is the motivations behind what they do. So you said Xbox Game Pass is great because no. Let's recap. So we're just actually like legitimately. You remember what actually happened? Is that you said Xbox crush it in Game Pass and it's great, and I said, well, they crush it because they have a huge, wide user base, so it's going to be adopted, and that's what makes that work. The process and what they're doing isn't original. It's been done before. They just had the hardware and software bases that make it possible for them to succeed. On top of them doing a really good job with it. And then all the other parts of it, well, I was like, you're like, well, they're just, they crush it in backwards compatibility. They care about those things. And I'm like, it was more of a way to kind of get some kind of small advantage against Sony because they don't care about it. And it's not so much that. Like, I have a Windows PC. I subscribe to Xbox Game Pass. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not anti-Microsoft. I use that stuff every day. I'm just trying to say, as far as my experience goes, you know what I mean? Like, for me, like, you're talking about kids growing up want to play games. There is not one game I can't play in my house with that, and not have to play not have to buy anything new hardware wise right now with what I have set up. I have a Windows PC, I have a PlayStation 5, and I have a PlayStation 3.
But
I can play every game in the world.
A lot of people aren't as... I don't want to say this and offend people. I don't want to say well off, because some people aren't as privileged to be able to go out and spend a lot of money on all the shit that we have. So if I'm a single mom and I have 3 kids and they want to play the newest video games, am I going to buy something where I have to pay $70 a pop?
That's a completely different thing you're talking about right now. A single mom having 3 kids trying to find entertainment for the kids. What you were talking about is you were talking about you as a gamer. You were talking about you as a nerd gamer with a kid that's coming up.
How do you not crush the value?
I understand that. But you were like me, I have all this stuff and whatever, and then I have my kid, and then I'm going to push him in this direction so I could save money. You're not talking about a mom of 3 kids. That's a different conversation, man.
It's the same conversation. It's
okay.
If I don't have disposable income, I'm choosing the thing that costs me $15 a month and I get 200 games versus the thing costs me $70 a game.
Oh, why don't you just go and Wish and get something that you spend $1 and get 5 billion games?
Yeah, maybe I will.
There you go. Problem solved.
Everything's a debate with me and you. I don't know why.
It's hard being right all the time, man. What can I say?
Yeah. You spell delusional weird, but that's okay.
Yeah, there you go. It's amazing how everything I think is cool is awesome, and everything I think is dumb as fuck. That's weird.
Yeah. What's up, Keith?
Not much. I have to go in like 10 minutes.
Before you go, I
buddy's
actually
got
do have a
pretty
question
funny.
for you, Keith.
Yeah.
Is there some kind of secret treasure you're looking for? Like why the you said you were watching a lot of YouTube videos about like metal detection and stuff like that. Is that for a purpose? Like is there something that piqued your interest and you want to look for stuff or?
No, I used to be like really big into coin collecting. I think
Okay.
I actually think like
You ever geotag?
no.
I've done it. I've done it a bit.
But I know people.
Did I
are
say that
into
wrong?
it.
Is it geocache or geotag?
geocaching. But I
Oh,
know what
yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking about, yeah.
I had a buddy that was way into that shit.
Yeah, I
Like, "Oh,
dated
you
a
gotta come
girl.
with me, man. It's awesome. It's awesome.
I
was like,
I dated a girl who was like big, not big into it, but we'd go when we would go on like a trip or something like that. She'd be like, "Oh, there's a thing up here. Let's stop." You know what I mean? Like it would be like that. It was fun. It was cool. Find little weird shit.
Yeah. They got some on like this nature trail we have.
Yeah,
the Finger
I
Lakes
have,
Trail
like,
or whatever.
I have like a bunch.
Oh
of-
shit!
Oh,
Yeah.
hot damn.
I was mostly into small sense, so like Indian heads and wheat pennies and that kind of thing. But yeah.
I found it was shortly after my grandmother died, and my mom's like, "Here, you can have this as your grandfather's stuff or whatever." And inside the wallet, I found some old like bills or whatever. Like back in the day, they were not dollar bills; they were silver certificates or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And like he had like the $2 bill in there. That was really cool. I was like, "Oh no shit!" I still got them. They're somewhere put away or whatever. Yeah. What's your most prized thing, Keith? Like your prized coin?
Like my favorite thing. My favorite
Yeah, like
thing. I'll pull it out. I'll pull it out for you.
there we go.
My favorite thing is this thing.
Here, let me do this real quick. There we go. What is that?
It's a 1853. Was it? I think it's a 3-cent coin. I forget. I haven't done this stuff in a while, but yeah, that's my favorite thing.
Huh.
I have kind of a cool thing is I have, so before small cents they had large cents, and this is a rotated reverse. So
Now, explain to us what small cents and large cents is, because I don't know what that means.
So this
Is it literally like tiny coins versus large coins, or?
Yeah, this used to be a penny. This is what pennies looked like.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, yeah, this is a rotated reverse. So,
So is a nickel a large cent or a small cent? Or are you talking literally a penny? Like pennies?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if like dimes and pennies or
No,
small cents, because
no.
there's size. Oh, you're saying small cents, so small 1 cent,
Yeah.
big 1 cent. Okay.
The only thing I know about nickels is Buffalo nickel. Just 'cause I heard it.
And Nickelback. Don't start.
I just picture you're an asshole. I just picture Chad Grover with the fucking picture frame.
Look at this graph. Yeah, I got some cool stuff. I got some. So between the large cents and the Indian heads, there were 2 years of these things.
I've seen that coin before. I don't know where.
Yeah. They're Eagle. I forget what they call them.
You know how they have those what are they? The Coinstar machines.
Yeah.
And shit like that. I wonder if they like just have like one guy at the division of Coinstar, much like the guy that sits at the bottom of the oil tanker in fucking Waterworld, and he's like, they're like, here, sort through these, and he's sorting through all like the old change and stuff, trying to find like the valuable ones.
Oh yeah, the Coinstar machines will have they have like a thing that like measures weight and stuff. So anything that doesn't like compute will get like put in like a separate thing. So like that's usually where like the older coins and the foreign coins and stuff like that end up.
What answer this question. When you get a handful of change, is it possible for you to just put it in your pocket, or do you have to look at it every time?
These days I don't look at it.
Okay.
But every once in a while I'll take a look. Or I'll just have like a place where I put change and then at some point I'll go through it. Yeah. I used to go through all of my change like all the time. I used to spend hours doing it. But not so much anymore.
I used to be the same way about cards, man. I would just spend hours just sorting through my cards, looking up the price guides, you know. That was back when I was a kid. But,
What kind of cards?
like sports cards, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Other cards too, but mainly sports cards. That market kind of fell off for a while. I think it's kind of back now. I'm not sure.
I was always a football card guy. I was never a baseball card guy. I was always football.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite brand of cards? Or your favorite series year? Do you remember that much, or
In football,
just like did you
it
like
was
upper deck, you know?
pro set, and because it was football, pro set. I got So I got I think I have 8 Favre rookies. So that year.
Nice.
I got a bunch of like cool rookies. I got I got a bunch of Shaq rookies. I got a bunch of Griffey rookies. I got a bunch of stuff like that. So it's basically age based. So I'm between the ages of whatever it would be, probably 8 to 14. You know what I mean? It's probably
Right.
that's the period of time where I probably did most of my card collecting. Which would make it, just to give you as far as dates go, which would put you into 88. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give or take. No. It'll put you in the 84 to like 90 range, somewhere right around there.
Yeah, most of mine are probably like, I don't know, 88, 87, 88 to like maybe 93. Probably after that. I don't know. It's been a long time. There's somewhere. I know I broke when I moved last time. I was like, oh, what is this? I opened it up, and it was all the cards I had put in like plastic protectors. I'm like, holy shit. And I started looking through them. I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, I forgot all about this.
You know what I actually did?
Matt, what was that?
Carton Brewing, it's their boat. It's a 4.2% session ale, and it's one of my favorite session beers. Like, just pick off a shelf and just rip them, kind of thing. So I dig this beer.
Speaking of ABV, real quick, Big Ditch just released. They do a beer that tastes like beer series, and they did a dark English mild at 3.8% ABV.
Oh, there you go.
I'm gonna go
He's
scoop
gonna
up like
make
a
noises
case
now.
of that shit. What's up, Mike?
What's up, Mike?
Chilling. Just hanging out, watching some fights with my dog.
I just saw Clayton's comment, by the way.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
Mike, you still on your 28 days?
Yep.
Nice.
When does it end?
A day early. It's supposed to end the 13th. I will end it the 12th because my wife's having people over and I'm gonna drink.
That's usually how it goes for me too.
Curiously, Mike, when you said you were doing 28 days, I got thinking, I'm like, Why don't you just do February? Instead of doing,
Because
half of January.
yeah, no, it wasn't that. It was I only did it as sort of like it wasn't like an issue of like where I felt like I was drinking too much or getting too many calories from it. I just was thinking it was another thing as far as discipline. Just it was just like I just do it. Just I don't know. Although I tactically cheated today. I had some ice cream that I made with some stout. I just had a little taste of it because I'm going to make some again. I want to make sure. I wanted to kind of see how it was, see if I needed to alter the recipe at all.
I used to make a Guinness float, and Ben and Jerry's at the time made ice cream called Dublin Mudslide, and it was phenomenal. It was basically like drinking Irish car bomb. It was great. Clayton says, huge card guy. When COVID first hit, cards exploded. Come down since then, but I buy and sell cards all the time as a side investment thing.
Ooh.
There we go.
Buy all my cards, Clayton. I got a bunch of them not protected, just kind of sitting in. Actually, oddly enough, so if I were to bring out my card collection right now, you'd all laugh because they're all in Dewar's Scotch tins. Like my mom used to drink Dewar's, and Dewar's used to come in this metal elongated tin that fits cards absolutely perfectly. So it's literally just
I got some Pokemon cards.
Are those Gen 1?
They're old. I don't know.
Dude,
Fuck is
I'll
Gen
go
1.
through those. You might have some money on your hands. Just saying. You could be like Logan Paul, and somebody can be like Logan Paul and pay you $3.5 million. You can sell them a fake Pokemon card. Fucking jackass.
All right. I gotta go. If you guys are on in like 15, 20 minutes, I might jump back on.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Okay. See you later, brother.
That's it.
Bye.
I had the Gretzky card when he got traded to the Kings. I was just a kid, didn't know anything about price.
Does anybody here watch hockey?
Yeah,
I've never been a big hockey guy. Just couldn't really get into it. I love going to hockey games. That's really fun.
I was gonna say, I think even though of the big ones, hockey is definitely not my favorite.
Minor league hockey is awesome.
Yeah, well, I used to go to see the minor league team here all the time, and I've seen some Bruins games. Like, hockey in person is the fucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
End of story. It's awesome.
Yeah. When I lived in northeastern Pennsylvania, we had the Penguins minor league team there, the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Penguins, and it's a freaking blast. But as far as just, like, on TV and shit, and I just could never get into it. And, like, I mean, this is just kind of me and stuff I like to do. There's nobody funner to rile up than hockey fan. Like hockey fan, like getting a hockey fan and talking about how like hockey's not important and nobody cares about it, and watching them flip out is the best. It's like one of my favorite things to do. Like when I'm having fun, I'm like, let me mess with some hockey people. It's pretty great.
I used to like going to see the Lowell Lock Monsters. Is as a minor league team. Those guys, I think, they spent more time in a boxing gym than they did on ice. I tell you that much. Like every single moment of the game, there was a few guys in the penalty box at all times. It was just them getting smoked and then beating the shit out of the other team.
Honestly, hockey makes. I mean, baseball is probably number one as far as movies go, but I mean, hockey movies are great. You know what I mean? Youngblood. You got I love. You ever watch Goon? That movie is hilarious.
Goon is legendary. I have not seen it though, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, and like, there's so many great hockey movies that it's funny. It's just I don't know, just never really got into it. It's weird because I like soccer, and soccer and hockey are kind of almost identical as far as shape and rules and how things works. As far as like, it's basically the same sport. If you watch hockey and you watch soccer, you're like, okay. You know what I mean? It's two teams moving across field offsides and like, you know what I mean? Like trying to score a goal and the whole thing. It's very similar sports.
They have similar positions, goalie and forward and everything. Yeah. Fair enough. The thing is that like,
someone's
especially in person.
What is that? Corbinian or something? That's dark. Eyinger dark. Yeah. Wow, Celebrator.
Shit, Celebrator.
Yeah.
So I had never had this. And then Mike had drank it on a stream, and I remembered it. and I saw this in my mix of 6-pack at Wegmans.
Oh,
And I
that's
was
a
like,
great one to find in a mix of sixer.
yeah. So they had like 5 bottles there. And I was like, I didn't grab beer. So the next day I went, they had 2 bottles left. I'm like, fuck it, I'll grab the other 2 bottles.
Yeah, because it's like
dude,
a $14, $15 4-pack.
It is.
Yeah, so the 6-pack at Wegmans in my area is $10.99.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
$11 where I
So
am.
it comes out to like $1.88 a beer or whatever. Anyways, dude, this is delicious.
Oh,
I'm
it's
mad
fantastic.
I've not drank this before.
It's awesome. So that you know, the little goat that you get on it. Did it have the little goat?
No, because it was in the
No,
singles.
okay. So that little goat thing, man, like it's not Christmas until one of those fuckers go on my tree, and then this year, like I always like, so I what was it? Not this past year, the year before I started dating him. So it's like I like put a little iron date, like okay, this is from 2020 because my wife was pregnant, and then this year 2021 and my son's name, and then we put it on there. So every year I'm gonna put have me and my son sign a little celebrated goat and put it on our tree as kind of like a weirdo tradition. And like I always put celebrated goats on my Christmas tree.
Nice.
But, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'm really. You kind of I don't know how you guys are, but like I get upset because I'm not used to I don't buy a lot of foreign beers or anything, and then I drink something like this, I'm like, holy shit, this is good. And I'm spending more and more time now looking at the foreign section. I'm like, looking at all the Dunkels and all that crap, and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, this is that's slamming.
One of my favorite pro tips.
Does this age well?
Oh yeah. It doesn't age super crazy well because what is it? 6.8? Is it 6.8 or 6.7?
6.7.
Okay. But it ages pretty decently. I've had bottles that are 10 years old that are great. But one of my favorite beer drinker hacks is you ever go to you're not in a beer place, okay, you go out with friends in a town, or I mean not pre-COVID or whatever, but you go to a bar that has a bunch of beer or whatever, and you feel rushed, you're not with beer friends, so you can't sit and kind of look at the list and do it, and the bartender's kind of what do you want?
Yeah.
All you got to do is look for a nader and then order that. That was always my beer hack, because every Doppelbock ends with a nader. So
Okay.
so you have Celebrator, you have Eyinger, you have almost
Optimator?
all are Optimator. All Doppelbocks typically end with a nader. So it's every time I'm a place and I feel rushed, I look for a nader and I'm just give me that, because I love Doppelbocks. It's one of my favorite styles.
Nice.
The weird one I always think of is Corbinian.
Yeah.
Corbinian is a double block, and that's the only one I can think of that isn't.
There's a few that don't do that don't do it. There's very few that eschew that are traditional,
Right.
Weinheim-Stefaner. So that's weird.
Right.
There's a lot of American breweries that make a Doppelbock and just either call it Doppelbock or some weird name, but a lot of people go out of their way to call it that.
Well, the one I never had and I want to try is the Polliner. I never had it. I know that's supposed to be the original, right?
Yeah, it's nothing
Ish.
even close to Celebrator. It's much lighter. It's probably closer to a Dunkel, than it is a Doppelbock. It's super light and super it's nice. It's tasty. There's two worlds in the Doppelbock world. There's the rich, creamy, sultry Celebrator version of the world. Then there's this kind of lighter, the Pollinator, Salvatore. That one you're talking. Yeah,
Yep.
that is a little bit lighter. So it's a really good beer, but I personally wouldn't classify it as Doppelbock. Same way I wouldn't classify Sammy Klaus's Doppelbock. That's a great beer, but it's just not like a Doppelbock. They call it a Doppelbock, but yeah.
So out of the Weißstefaners, I noticed there was a few at my local Wegmans. The Fest beer, the original, whatever. What one do you guys lean towards? I've never had anything from them. So what should I go for first,
Ooh.
if I can find it?
Crystal Weiss is the shit, man.
Cristal is the shit. End of story.
Yeah, no, they're all really, really good. Corbinian's fantastic. That's their
That was
Doppelbock. It's probably I've drank more Corbinian than anything else from them. But their Crystal Weiss is fantastic. It's basically a clear version of a wheat beer, but in a super drinkable way. So it's like banana phenolics and like wheat beer base and stuff like that, but it's super crispy. It's almost like a crispy Pilsner wheat beer, kind of, almost in a certain extent. But those are the two really good ones for me.
For me, it's Vitas and Cristal and the Dunkel.
Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah, the Vitas is really good. Try that one.
You can't go wrong with any of them. That's the whole thing.
I want to show you guys something. Mike had these made, and they're badass. You might have noticed one already.
Oh, nice.
Look at that.
Nice.
And then he made.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. He's
Merch.
like, dude, check this out. I was like, sweet, man.
Merch.
So yeah,
Where's the FLX web store? How do we find that?
Yeah, that's pretty far off.
Okay.
So Jeff, aka No Jinx, we did the giveaway thing. He's like, I don't care about the rest, man. Just send me a hat. All I want is the hat. I was like, we'll make you a hat, buddy.
How's that going? The whole giveaway thing.
The giveaway, not good. Not good. It's a lot of bot action. A lot of fake.
I mean, hindsight's 2020. You should have had instead of just saying comment down below, you had people comment something specific. That's how you get rid of the bots. So it'd be comment down below with the word blah blah blah. Oh, and the bots are copying that?
We told them so we purposely made the video so we did like the candies in front so they had to fast forward or whatever.
Yeah.
We told them to comment hashtag 200 subs down below.
Okay.
But
So
there's been a lot. There's been a lot of comments where I'm like, are these real people? And all the people who I question all have the same exact thing where they have 6 subscribers and they've joined for 3 years. And every other comment, we get a new subscriber.
I bet you it's because you're giving away money. Maybe. People,
a gift card, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying because if you're giving away a hat or beer centric stuff, I don't know if people like I want free money. There's probably a lot of people like my sister used to be a semi-professional like sweepstakes enterer person.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's it. She would do it like when her kids were young and she didn't work. Like she had this method. She told me about it and everything, but I was too lazy to do it. She won cars, season tickets to the Phillies. Like she won all kinds of crazy shit, and there's people that just do that for a living. So there's bulletin boards out there. People go on like websites and be like, oh, this place is giving out these things. So and all they have to do is click this button and it autofills whatever and then whatever. So yeah, it sucks.
Sam says, "G'day, dudes." Clayton says, "I'm a real person." Yes, I know, Clayton.
I don't know. I'm still up in the air on Clayton.
They could be real. They could be real people. I think when we do the randomizer, I'm definitely going to vet the person before I don't just want to. I'd rather somebody real get it. Somebody that actually watches the channel and likes beer or whatever. We'll see. If we do it again, there'll be some things we change. It's still going. Ends Valentine's Day. So
my suggestion would be to pick just not pick one person. Pick maybe 10 people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the first person be like, you have to email me within the next so and so and you need to write this to me, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? That way if nobody ever emails you and then doesn't write what you want them to write, that's they don't, then you're like, okay, this person's not legit, Yeah,
I definitely like that. That's a good idea. Yeah, we're gonna combine. So we're combining the Instagram and YouTube comments, and we're letting people enter twice. So if they comment on one, they can enter twice or whatever.
I did one giveaway once.
Yeah. What'd you give away?
On Instagram, I gave away beer.
Okay.
You're not supposed to, but I gave away crazy awesome beer.
Okay.
I gave away a 1996 Sam Adams Triple Bock. I gave away all kinds of crazy shit, three or four crazy beers. And dude won. Dude is mad cool. It was it was a 500 subscriber giveaway, and I think it was in 90. Nice. No, it was in 2014 or 15. It went well. I was just like, I'll do a giveaway, and after that, I was like, oh no, I did one other giveaway. I did Lagunitas sent me a bunch of crazy shit that I was like, I will never ever.
Mhm.
Like it was a medium sized shirt. You know, that shit ain't happening. So I was like, hey, whoever in the video, I was like, yeah, I'll give it to whoever does. Who's whatever comments or whatever, and then ended
Yeah.
up just shipping it off to that person. But the person who won, I ended up putting it in like 4 or 5 just random beers just to be like
Yeah.
bonus points, for fun.
I guess with all that being said, I'm still excited. It's we wanted to do something cool. Yeah, why not? 200 subscribers. We never thought that would ever happen. So yeah, here we are. So, what about you guys? Nerd Sense. You guys ever do any stuff like that, or?
We did we did one. I think it was some movie codes or something like that for I don't know, the Avengers or some shit. I forget what it was. It was some movies that I bought the physical copies of that I already.
Oh, and you
owned.
got the digital copies. Okay, yeah, that's cool.
We did something like that. Like maybe early on.
Nice.
But it was weird. Like it's just, I don't know. I wouldn't mind doing something where we send beer.
See,
Seems like a good idea.
that's where we kind of opted for like the Craft Shack or halftime beverage thing.
Yeah.
So that way people can get beer, but we really don't have to send it out. And yada yada yada. But oddly enough, which is kind of funny, it's 200 subscribers, but now we're up to 288, 289.
Oh, good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So, yeah, we're close to 300 now. I don't know what we're going to do for 300. So.
We would, I don't know. I think, Sean, we pretty much at where we're going to be for subs. I think we've gone like a couple in the last few months. It's.
Yeah, we got some stuff coming up. I think we're gonna try and do. We're gonna do like a video of liquor. I think.
Oh, cool.
I have some different Jamesons. I was like, oh, this would be kind of cool to do like a little video of. So we'll see.
Have you thought about doing like good liquor instead? Put it out there.
Listen, we slum it up. That's what we do. Sam Smalley. I'd love to send and receive beers to my mates internationally, but it's so damn expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we sent this shit to Europe, that was a lot of money. Jesus, that was a lot. I actually, I have something coming up soon. Something different for Nerd Sense pretty soon. Once I'm done, I'll let you guys kind of know what's up. It'll be interesting. It won't go anywhere. We'll still get no subs.
Nice.
It'll be fun though. It'll be a little bit different than what we've been doing.
Like, I don't mind doing different stuff. Like we did the Hoplark tea battle, and then we did the Gordon Ramsay seltzers, which is one of our top viewed videos. It is our top viewed video, actually. The Gordon Ramsay seltzer.
What's your top? Do you know what your top video is, Mike?
Yeah, it's one of our earliest ones. We did. I think I talked about this on the stream recently. We did a liquor review of Mama Juana, which is.
Oh yes, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
It's absurd how many views it has. And the rest of our videos, like even some hype beers, like 14 views and shit. This one is like 10,000 or some shit. It's a huge fucking. I don't know. Probably not that much, but it's definitely in the thousands.
That's awesome.
It's ridiculous. Like it's janky, like grainy, horrible. It's like easily in the top 10 worst videos we ever did. It's by far most popular.
That's funny because our Gordon Ramsay seltzer video, it's crooked as fuck. Like you watch it and like. I'll watch it on my phone. I'll tilt my phone like this. Just to make it even.
It's like you see, you like see the one corner of the table disappears halfway through, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm like, why does YouTube have the editor, and it doesn't allow just rotation? I was like, please, for the love of God, just add rotation to it, just so I can fix that one video. It bothers the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's like every other thing in your phone or TV, like or computer. If you load it up, it automatically like rotation corrects, and you have to like tell it no. Like, no, I don't want to do that. Like when you want to like, but YouTube's like, yeah, just we don't care. Just this way, we don't care.
Oh man, yeah, that is.
Even my phone, if I'm trying to edit something, even if I'm not trying to edit that, if it sees something in the background and wants it, it'll.
That's what I mean.
Like,
that's what I mean. Like
bitch.
it's just like on its own. Yeah, it's a mind of its own.
Clayton says my fiance's boyfriend's birthday was yesterday. My lineup was in order was 2 High Lifes,
Fiance's
Lab
boyfriend.
Sub-Zero, Half Acre Coffee
Best
Porter.
best friend probably.
Holy fuck, bro!
I'm going
Got pretty
with
sloppy
boyfriend.
then, I
That's way
bet.
funnier.
Unless it's like an open relationship, which is cool. Whatever.
Yeah, fair enough.
That Dustin Van Ganja, whatever, how do you?
Dust Vidania?
That beer, that's so good, man. That beer is
Yep.
so good. I mean, Clayton and I talked about it before, but god damn, it's such a good beer. I mean, Barrel Aged 1050 is fantastic. They're all real.
That's a Russian Imperial, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had it.
Yeah.
It's great. Yep.
Yeah.
So now that we have the video out or whatever, dude, I gotta tell you, man, we were excited in the video, but that Hot Butcher, getting that Hot Butcher package, just it was fucking awesome. And fun fact for anyone watching this, or if anyone that rewatches it, during that video when we did the Hot Butcher unboxing, so Mike has a point where he rips open his shirt and he's got a Hot Butcher shirt on, and he's like going like this. I didn't know he had that shirt. So, like, we're just reacting. And I look over, he's going like this with this shirt. And I'm like, what the fuck? Where'd you get the Hot Butcher shirt? But I'm just like, it was really funny. But yeah, man, it was really cool.
I gotta pull a Darwin, I guess, and start talking shit on Hot Butcher, so they send me stuff now.
Honestly, the only reason that we received a Hot Butcher package is straight up Joe. Joe told me that he just every time he talked to Hot Butcher, he's like, "Hey, these FLX guys. Hey, these FLX guys." So much props to Beer Patrol.
I wouldn't expect Hot Butcher to send me beer anyway.
You get half of it anyway.
I know.
Stop fucking complaining.
No, I'm not complaining.
I'm joking.
But in every Hot Butcher video, I'm like, yeah, I don't really like this beer or this style. I don't really drink.
Actually,
it.
Michael attests to this. They'll probably want to send it to you more.
They're sending me like 2 cases at a time. I'm like, thanks, Hot Butcher.
I can say this too. Listen, those fucking guys, Jeremiah especially, like, great guys. I mentioned this before. Like, if I get a little critical of one of their beers, I do get a message like almost right away. Hey man, and like, what do you think? Like it's not even like fucking around. But also like we had I think I mentioned this before, but we had an earthquake here. Like, I don't know, I didn't even notice it. But he fucking messaged me, hey, how's your family? How's everything going? Are you okay? like it's legit. Like this, if this, like, he's a fucking great guy. He just messaged me sometimes some shit. I was in Florida. He saw something on Facebook and it's like, hey man, I was there the other day. He's a great guy, man. He's a fucking great guy. I love supporting them.
When you guys get like beer packages from breweries, right? So we got the Hot Butcher one, and I received one other package from a brewery or whatever. Like, I know, like, you want to be honest or whatever, but is there any part of you where you're just like, man, this beer is absolute shit? Like, do you hesitate at all, just completely shit on it, or you're just like, nope, honest? Like,
nah, you can't be like that, man. Well, you can. There's a lot of almost everybody is like that, but yeah, I don't think that's the way.
Because that's the first thing I said to Mike. I said, dude, if the other brewery that sent us beer, I said, if this isn't good, like, I don't care. I'm gonna say it's crap. Like, I don't know.
I would say that if a brewery had any sort of, I don't know if integrity is the right word, but if they had any like pride in their product, they would want to know if they were putting out shitty beer.
Like, if I'm making beer, let's say, like, if I made beer, I guess it would hurt, but I would want to surround myself with people that are going to straight up tell me, is this good or not, rather than people that say, oh yeah, man, beer's great. Beer's great. Great job. You're doing your thing.
Because there's also a difference between like beer that you like and good beer.
It's important to know that distinction too,
Yeah.
and if you need to be able to portray or relay that information. That it's like, it's just like, it's just not doing it for me, but I can understand why other people really like it because it's not a bad beer. It's just, there's a different, like Keith said, difference between flaws and negative beer in general and just something you don't like.
So are you saying coffee in a beer is not a flaw? Shenanigans. Shenanigans.
But it's like one of those things where, if a brewery, so I kind of liken it to like a job interview. Let's put it that way. So like if you go roll into a job interview, you going to get a job, you're not going to roll in there, in greasy jeans and haven't showered for 4 days. You're not an idiot. But like, if you go into a job interview and the reason why you don't get the job interview or get the job you interview, you do well. But the reason why you don't get it is you have long hair or you have a tattoo. And they're just like, you're a really good candidate, but it's just not our culture. And be like, you really wouldn't want to work there anyway. So like, if someone sends you beer and the person gets upset that you said negative shit and they don't send you beer, you probably don't want beer from that place anyway.
Right. We had a guy at work was like, hey, my son-in-law is opening up a brewery. They're doing like a tasting, a private event. People come check out the beer or whatever. And we got invited. Mike ended up going to it. I couldn't go, but Mike went to it. And that was really cool. And like they kind of like knew us a little bit or whatever. He's like, oh, FLX guys. But it turns out Mike goes to the counter to talk to somebody, and this guy turns around. It was like one of his like good friends from school that he hadn't seen in like 20 years. He was like, oh yeah, I'm co-owner. I was like, no shit. Which I think it kind of made it easier for Mike because Mike was like, hey, this beer's good or whatever, but this one still kind of tastes like homebrew, yada yada yada, and so that was a real test, to be able to be invited to a thing like that, and to be able to like look that person in the face and say, hey, it still kind of tastes like homebrew. You know what I mean?
I mean, I kind of have like a blanket thing where if someone reaches out to me, like, so I had there's a brewery in my area, kind of out this way called Saucony Creek. They're out of Pennsylvania, and like I actually like they have one of my reviews of one of their beers on their website, like, you know what I mean. But I guess the brewery has changed hands a couple times, like not changed hands, but management has changed. The owners kind of stepped down, so the people there don't really know me or anything like that, and like I guess the guy who's managing all the beer now kind of like sent me an email asking me to call him, and we had a conversation the other day, and he's like, oh, I saw you reviewed a couple of beers and you weren't a big fan of it, and I just kind of want to change the conversation and all this kind of stuff. People basically wants me to review the beer and say better stuff about it. He's not asking me to say nice stuff. He just he wants me to say nice. Yeah. He wants to give me beer in hopes I say nice things. And it's and like I don't copy and paste it, but I have the same spiel. I'm like, listen, there's zero guarantee I'm going to say nice stuff, but there's also zero guarantee I'm going to say negative shit. There's no guarantee for anything. You give it to me, it is what it is. The stuff that comes out of my mouth is the stuff that comes out of my mouth. And that's it. So that's like the one thing that I stick to. The other thing, which is probably a little bit more kind of towards what your original statement was like if you feel bad about saying negative things, I will purposely not review beers from a brewery kind of that just opened. Do you know what I mean? Like unless I go there and I have a really good beer, and I'm like, and then I'll be like, screw it, get a crowler out of this, go home, I'll review it, I taste it. But like, I purposely go out of my way because I'm like, who am I to be like, fuck this place that sucks. They just opened, they might be just trying to find their way. Like, I don't want to be like, hey, this new place that opened, they can go fuck themselves, they suck. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm it's not like I'm going my way to like protect them or not tell people it's bad, but you also have to give somebody the runway to figure out their system and do all that kind of stuff. So that's probably the only place where I personally kind of like pump the brakes a little bit and be like, okay, new place opens, let them do their thing for a little bit. Now, a year or two passes, they're still hot garbage. 93, praise ya. Yeah, I'll say shitty shit.
So going back to what you said before, Matt, like your video was up on the site or whatever. Like as a content creator, like are you cool with that?
I don't care. Yeah. They did I don't know where, if you type in like Saucony Creek Maple Mistress, it's one of the that's the beer. It's like one of Beer Patrol Joe's favorite beers. It's probably one of the first things that pop up in Google. I'm okay with people posting that stuff, but it's also like to go on a little tangent. You guys ever go into your analytics and then go to like referrals and then see where people have clicked your stuff, and then you'll see like a brewery is like looking at your shit but not contacting you or talking to you? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I looked into it a little bit. Mine isn't as in depth because we're like a newer channel. Like
No. You can do it because it's basic stuff. So if you go into like your analytics and you drill down, you get to the point where it's like website clicks and referrals. It'll tell you where somebody clicked from to watch your video. But a lot of times, like I'll get clicks. I'll see like Lagunitas, or even like I see like every month I get 3 or 4 clicks from La Trappe, the Netherlands, Belgian Trappist brewery. My video is not on their site. So someone there internally, they're sharing the video to the people that in their company, you know what I mean? And they're clicking on it, you know what I mean? To watch it and stuff like that. It's really interesting. Okay. You should go check it out.
Yeah, I looked a little bit. It was like where it said like Google search, basically, are they searching you through YouTube, Google search? Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, external sources is the one I'm talking about. Yeah, external sources, I believe is what it's called. Yeah.
Stefan just clicked the wrong link and just ended up here, which was just right.
See, that should be our motto. It was an accident, but it was just right.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Talking about like saying kind of shitty things about a brewery. I think about this a lot because there are sometimes where, especially early on, where I would be more concerned with making Sean laugh. So even if I didn't like a beer, I would say some fucked up things just to kind of get a rise out of him. And I described one beer as tasting like Lowell tap water. And the next day, because Sean put up like, oh, we're reviewing these beers today, whatever, before we did them. The next day, that brewery like messaged, oh, I can't wait to see it. I was like, oh, fuck. Because, like, I mean, there's a constructive way to say I didn't like a beer, and I was just trying to fuck with Sean and just be a general dick about it. But I didn't like the beer either way, but I felt awful that brewery going to see that review and see me fucking with them. Because I do try my best to be constructive. I always say, like, oh, this beer is just not working for me. I just don't like this or whatever.
Hi!
Hello.
But
I'll be on
there's ways to be constructive instead of just being a dick about it, you know.
That's the whole point. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like if you're saying like if you're saying stuff that's just not like shit talk, you know what I mean? Kind of like like the whole Xbox conversation earlier. If you're just being honest about stuff, that was a joke. I'm not trying to fucking But if you know what you're talking about, I'm not saying like expert level stuff.
We do want to chat.
Yeah, and if you know what you're kind of talking about and you're being honest and thoughtful, if someone gets mad, it's on them, man. It's not on you. Yep. You know. Yep.
I agree 100%. You got to be honest, otherwise you're just a fucking
chill.
You're just hot garbage.
Yeah.
Like some people we know.
Oh shit. I was gonna say something that Matt said, but got lost on me.
Now that's the question I want to know.
Yeah,
Mike wasn't here. Peter North, the porn star, was commenting on the chat earlier. or someone that says he was Peter North to porn star. I am going to get to the bottom of this. If it's legitimately Peter North to porn star, then we are going to do a live video feed together and drink beer. It might have to be on Pornhub, but it will happen.
I'm okay with that. I'll watch that for sure.
Well, here's a comment for Matt.
All right. I'm gonna jump out of here. The fight I want to watch is just finished the first round. I kind of want to see the rest of it, see what
Madison,
happens.
it's always just right when I end up in an old or live review with you. I don't know about the rest of the guys here, but I guess that if you are in here, you are all right. Yeah, that's right. All these guys are awesome. If you don't know FLX guys, everybody from FLX. I mean, Mike, Dan's pretty cool though. But jokes. And Keith is my brother from another mother. He lives further away now, so he can't just like pop in. It kind of sucks, but we'll have to figure that out. But
how far are you guys from each other now?
Now, like
25, 30 minutes. 25, 30? Yeah. Okay. Because you're like right past the Byram exit, right?
You can actually get here the if you're coming from Hope.
So if I'm coming from Byram ShopRite and I want to go to Ledgewood, it's that back road that takes you through that little town. That's where you live now, right?
Yeah, and then you go up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so like 25 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
Let's see. Poppy, close off. Well, PDX said close on. Poppy says close off. Sam Smalley. Peter North is trying to weasel his way to
That'll happen. That will. I'll. Yeah. Please and thank you.
That's funny.
Talking about mystery beers.
You mean whodunits? That's the new term, right?
What's the cheesier one?
Well, we got Wildcard Wednesday. Yeah. Dude, I'm having a lot of fun with those.
Because it was like you guys were so hesitant to do them at Beer Tube Palooza because you never do it before and it's intimidating, especially when you're around a bunch of people of, you watch and stuff like that. But man, a lager. I have a crisp, clean lager.
Looks like a Kolsch. Ooh, all right. How was that?
It's pretty tasty.
I love Ruaka.
Yeah.
Their prices didn't come down everywhere,
but they did. That's the only reason I'm holding this. This would have been $25-$26 on a shelf. I bought it today for $18.
Yeah.
No shit. So they actually did.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Some places, yeah.
I just ordered from them. I got a shipment from them. I got the Ghost in the Laboratory. Their Parish collab.
Yeah. I'm curious about that beer too.
I'm drinking a Yang.
Oh God.
It's good, but honestly, it's like when we drank that Rossi Zach's at Beer Tuber Palooza, where it was just so fresh. Like you could tell it was going to be a really good beer, but it just had that. It wasn't melded together yet. It needed a few weeks.
Equilibrium straight out of the laboratory, their version, their side of that beer, their OG release of that was the best hoppy beer I've ever had, and is it still a triple IPA? Is it still like 10% or whatever? Keith, you were with me, right? Did we interview them? Is that when we interviewed them, or was it later?
No. I wasn't at the Equilibrium interview, but I don't know if you gave me a can of that or if you shared a can of that with me. But that beer was probably one of the best triple IPAs I've ever had.
It's the best one I've ever had, and it's probably one of the better hazy IPAs I've ever had.
Keith, how's your memory?
Why?
Did you give Mike Industrial Arts barley wine?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I?
So he was going through beers in his beer fridge, and Mike doesn't have the greatest memory, and I encourage him to make a label or something on the bottom of the can. And he's like, "Yeah," because we had the beer mail from Steven. We had Tyler, Ridge, all that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, they're not in any of those unboxings. I don't know where you got it from, man. And like,
It's
I
like
was
the experimental series or whatever.
Yeah. I was
It's
like,
written
I was
barley
like,
wine and
maybe you
text
got
in
it
the
from
corner,
Keith?
state of the art series or something like that.
Yeah.
And no, because he gave me one right at the same time.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said. That's why I'm saying it's Keith.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ridge, it was funny. Funny story. Ridgeopolis reviewed a beer he had received from Tyler over at South End Beer Reviews, and me and Ridge were talking privately on StreamYard. He's like, "Yeah, I just reviewed this beer from you guys." I'm like, "It's not our beer, bud. What are you talking about?" And he's like, "This isn't from you?" I was like, "No." So he did the whole review saying it was from us and the whole 9 yards and everything. So I'm waiting for him to release it, but it was really from Tyler.
But it was yeah, I've never done that ever. I've never gone through a whole video being like, yeah, this person sent me this,
Yeah.
and then someone yeah, it happens.
Sam Smalley, totally agree on that. Equilibrium straight out of lab beer. Yeah, it was it's a really good beer. I just think in 3 weeks it's going to be way better.
No, but what I'm saying is that straight out of the laboratory.
Yeah.
The second it was released at the brewery while you drank it was the best triple IPA I've ever had. That's what I mean. It's a completely like it was so good. God damn.
I'll tell you what, I'll bring him up again. Ridge says Ridge is very unorthodox, but he proclaims that EQ are the king of triples, and
They are.
other half are the king of oat cream. That's his thing.
They are. That's common knowledge. I would attest. I would say other half does a really good job with triples too, but they're not as consistent with equilibrium. But like I hate triple IPAs, but like triple IPAs, it's probably like on a tier. It'd be EQ, probably Hop Butcher, and then other half. And then other half is definitely 100% the lactose king because they don't
the oat cream,
overuse it. Yeah, they don't. You overdo it. It's not like you drink it and you're like, is this kind of a milkshake or not? You know what I mean? It's like it's adding mouthfeel. There's a little bit of subtle kind of non-saccharine sweetness to it. So they do a really great job with that. Like, and it wasn't always that way. Like other half's IPAs for me weren't a kind of home run until about, I would say, like 2017 maybe 18, and then that's when they really took off. But
Was that before they got like hazy?
That was
No. I actually didn't like their hazy IPAs for quite some time, and then once they just kind of, when was it, Keith? Like, when did we first meet? Like 15, 16 or something like that?
16.
Right around there, like a year after that is right. So maybe 17 even. Was when, like, for me, other half IPAs really kind of hit their stride. And right, honestly, now it's like it used to be out of every 10 other half hazies I've had, I would like, if I liked half, that was a good percentage. Now it's like if I have one that I don't like, that's really weird. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, they've gotten much more consistent. I'd be really curious to do like somehow cobbled together. It would be really cool, like joint beer review, but like somehow have people ship us the same beer from all the separate locations and do like a side by side of like a specific beer. Like, you know what I mean? Like all green everything from Rock, one from Brooklyn, one from DC, one from, you know what I mean? Like, and just be like, okay, let's do a showdown of honestly, each location.
I mean, not for nothing. Like, I think that might be kind of simple. Simple's a strong word in that situation, but seriously, I've gotten plenty of Space Dream, right? And within like a couple months span, I had the Brooklyn version, I had the DC version. I didn't have the FLX version, but it's I'm kind of right.
I like that. For some reason, I have 4 in my head, so I'd want to wait till like Philly opens or something. But that would be fun. It would be fun to do, and it'd be a cool series
you guys
to do.
Open panel. Yeah, I mean, if you want to hop on East Coast, sure, why not? I don't know how much longer these guys are gonna be on, but
is that LQ reviews for liquor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so.
Here,
I don't know
Here.
if I did
Oh,
a video.
let me do this.
I did a video about it, or at least
Oh no,
mentioned it.
dude! Did you just post it publicly in the chat?
I meant to do it.
Don't
different.
get
Can I
that
delete
shit
it?
delete. I would hope so.
Matt, help. Matt,
Oh
help.
God. Oh God.
Matt, help.
That's the last thing you need to do right now.
I did it wrong. I meant to do it to him. Can you delete it?
Even then, I'm going to delete it on my channel. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
Can you hide it? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Can-
It says hide.
yeah,
I
but
think
is
it
that...
hides it from you seeing it.
let's see.
Well, it's gone from my channel. That's all I can say.
How'd you do it?
I went actually to YouTube and removed
Okay.
it.
All right. My bad. I hit the wrong button. I apologize.
Remove.
So would you go to the actual your
I
channel?
went to the
stream?
actual feed
Okay.
and deleted it that way.
Okay. Yep.
I mean, anybody can jump in here. They can't add themselves to the feed, so it's not like we're, they're
Okay.
going to have
I took
19
care of
billion people jump
I'm
in.
sorry.
No. It's okay. Like I said,
apologize.
they would pop in down in whatever they call it, the green room
I'll
or
tell
whatever
you.
the hell. they
Yeah.
Here, East Coast, real quick. I will DM you on Instagram. There we go.
So anyway, I have this Icelandic single malt, and it's the barley is smoked using traditional methods, and they use sheep dung. So I am super excited about trying that. I've tried
The a couple things. I assume it's a whiskey because of the color, right? This single malt whiskey.
Yeah.
And I will say, Keith, one of my favorite things about your channel update was like I have all these backlogged beer reviews. That's all I'm gonna post, and it's been nothing but all the shit you brought back
I know.
and all the stuff that came from Pittsburgh. Amazingly.
Well, the Pittsburgh stuff is old reviews. I
is
reviewed
the
all that
backlog,
stuff.
okay.
I reviewed all that stuff like a month ago. Yeah.
So you... You guys watching the Olympics at all?
Yes, but it's not like
I saw part of the opening ceremony, but
I just want to know when the snowboarding is. I want to see if Shaun White wins a gold.
I'm actually like my my dream as a child was to be a speed skater. So I'm like a Winter's Olympics kind of junkie, but more traditional. Like I don't care about snowboarding. Like I care, you know what I mean? Like it's fine. I was a snowboarder, so it's not like I don't care about it. But it's like I'm more of like a bobsled kind of speed skating, figure dancing, figure skating. Like I'm like super uber traditional when it comes to Winter Olympics. But I will tell you this: with football not being around and sports kind of just being like mum right now, it's really awesome to wake up at like 8 a.m. and have sports on. Like I love it. Like I wake up and I'm like, yeah, we'll watch some Olympics because it's like opposite time, whatever.
When I was growing up, I forget what year it was or where it was, but I just remember watching speed skating, and it was some dude, Johan Olav Koss or whatever. He was like from Sweden or Norway or some shit, but he won like every gold medal that year in like speed skating. He was like the Michael Phelps of speed skating. It was out of control. Sam Smalley. Keith's review of that spirit will be epic.
yeah. Yeah, I assume they don't just like light sheep shit on fire and just do it that way. I assume there's like some sort of technique to it.
Wait, it's smoked with sheep dung, or they
Yeah,
grew
they
the
use-
grain with sheep dung? You know what I mean?
No, they use sheep dung to smoke it.
No, okay.
So I assume there's some sort of technique where they dry it and then something.
Stephen Falk saying, have a huge problem with non-original country Trappist beers. I don't know. I really do like the Spencer Trappist beers in the States, but would you consider La Trappe non-country? because they're in the Netherlands. Even though they're one of the OG kind of Trappist breweries, they're not Belgian in origin. And then conversely, would you not consider Saint Bernardus a Trappist brewery? They don't have the stamp, but they made pretty much they made Rochefort for 40, 50 years. So if they make good beer, they make good beer. That's kind of my thing when it comes to like breweries in general. But the whole Trappist thing, if they're doing it the way they're supposed to be doing it, and I don't know.
So what? So what does Stefan mean by non-original country?
He said rest is coming, 200 letters problem. So I assume he can only do 200 pieces of text at a time. So we'll just let him kind of filter it in. So sorry for jumping all over you, Stefan, but that's how I do. Let him kind of feel. Triple sunshine.
Yeah.
Is somebody's animal puking in the background, or does somebody have a washer going?
There's a dog upstairs.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
That's been the whole time. It's been like that.
Has it?
Yeah, oh yeah. Like I just commented now, but I could have commented like an hour ago.
Oh. Yeah. Neighbor's dog.
Okay.
Now you really got me hyper focusing on it.
Sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
So yeah, I've never had this before. I saw like a couple guys had it. Kyle had it up. Joe had it up. I was like, all right, I'll try it. This is fantastic. It's like old school, but like triple shit. It's good.
Shit.
Nah, like honestly, Lawson's is God. I think Lawson's might have been. I mean, it's one of my. Is it my favorite tap room? Like I'm not like obviously like Bond Place. Like I was sitting down and drinking beers, like that whole camaraderie thing, yada yada yada. Twin Elephant. But as far as just my favorite tap room, like Lawson's is pretty banging, man. Like they have great beers on draft. The place is all wood, which always makes my boner hard. And then and it's pretty. The beers are great. They got this nice outdoor section. I really like Lawson's, man.
Yeah.
Got a message the other day. There's these kids.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
What's going
What's
on?
up, man?
What's going on?
Just hanging out.
Oh, now you got to take a picture on your kid. You can show them your fancy whiskey.
I got a lot of stuff, but I haven't really been drinking much whiskey lately. I've been drinking more beer.
I noticed that because you're doing the panel with like Beer Man, Bumpy Road, and
Those
miscellaneous.
guys are cool to hang out with. Yeah, those guys are awesome.
Nice. Yeah, dude, Lawson's is pretty solid. Yet again, that's like where I missed out on IPAs, so now I'm catching up.
They make one of the worst beers I ever had, though. I'll tell you that much.
Really?
What is it?
What beer is that?
What is it? In space, in between space or something? Is that?
Oh, you didn't like that?
No.
I had it. I think I've had it twice. The first can I had, I thought it was really, really good, and then the second can that I had, which was a different batch, I believe, was not the same thing. But
I had it once, and it was just not good. I think I actually drank it as a mystery beer too.
Oh.
So it wasn't like I drank it but or maybe I did it as a mystery beer and I did it again. I don't remember.
Matt, did you see this? I don't know when I was gone if you answered this.
When it comes to beers that
whatever.
not original Belgium, it just feels like they missed the mark.
Oh,
Yeah, Stefan, if you want to click on the other big one that he had.
yeah.
So basically, he asked about Trappist breweries and them being non-original Trappist breweries, which was this comment up here. But I commented real quick, like in real time, and he's like, dude, I'm typing. Give me a minute. You know what I mean? So, and basically what he's saying is that like when he has Belgian, I'm assuming when he's saying Belgian Trappist darks, they just don't taste original to him. They don't taste legit, and that's actually a huge thing. Like it's a big thing in the United States. You have like a lot of breweries don't nail, and he talks about yeast, but it's also yeast, and I think more often than not, it's a Belgian candied sugar thing. So, like we were talking about earlier, Omegang's yeast, I'm not a big fan of because he used Duvel yeast. I think Duvel yeast is fine for a bright kind of Belgian triple or something like that, but when you try to use it for a Belgian dark, it doesn't make any sense. And I think a lot of American breweries kind of overlook the proper yeast for proper beers. So, like a lot of American breweries or even breweries from overseas, they kind of just don't really even connect on the Belgian quad dark kind of thing with the yeast, but it's more specific, like Belgian candied sugar. Like a lot of brewers will take like just a simple fermentable sugar or whatever sugar. Like Belgian candied sugar is actually made from beets, like it's beet sugar. And I think that's really important that they use like a tempered sweetness beer, like a beet sugar, and they don't use it, and it ends up coming off cloying. And as Stefan says here, it's sweet, so it comes off as more of a refined sugar sweetness. And I think that's the problem. But when they do nail it, they nail it. So here in my state of New Jersey, we have Kane. Their Belgian darks and Belgian quads are spot on fantastic. I would put them up against any of the big dogs. There's other people like Schlafly makes really good quad. Obviously, Allagash has really got their kind of Belgian darks down. Out in the West Coast, you have Crux Fermentation Project does a really good job of their Belgian darks. There are really good ones even down south. Belgium. What was that? What was that brewery down in Florida? My buddy works at Keith. I gave you the beer from Barrel Monks. Barrel Monks Brewing. Like, there's some people that do it, but it's not a popular style, and it's not a huge seller for people. So I don't think people put a lot of like practice and whatnot into it. But yes, they could suck, but if you find good ones, you can find good ones, and they can come from outside of Belgium. There you go.
East Coast, what are you drinking over there, man?
I was on a live stream. I had a couple sours, so I had a Miller Lite, but now I'm gonna pour up a Stone IPA.
Okay.
Haven't had one of those in a while.
Yeah, I bought a 12-pack of them, and I was like, they're good, but sometimes that hop resin sits on your tongue, and you drink like 3 or 4, and it starts getting to you.
Yeah.
That's what the
good,
Miller Lite's for, baby.
I like the Stone IPAs. They're not bad. It's good, good example of West Coast. You know.
You also had a comment here from Clay.
Yeah, I saw that. He was talking about Weller Foolproof. I haven't had that. I had the 12. This is the unopened bottle, but I've had the 12. We got the antique. This is like a Buffalo Trace rack right here, pretty much. Besides the old Fitzgerald over here. And then I got some. We got store pick, Blanton's, Hancock's President's Reserve right there. I got in Florida. I went to Palm Beach. I grabbed that one, but I've never had the Weller Foolproof. That one's a little bit harder to find.
Nice. That's a hell of a collection, man.
Thanks, appreciate it. Yeah, I haven't really been touching my whiskey lately. It's been a lot of craft beer and shit. Hanging out with the beer community guys. So
yeah. Yeah, I was earlier I said we were maybe gonna do some liquor on our channel or whatever. I bought like those little Jameson shooters, like they have the IPA cask mates, stout cask mates, or whatever. I don't know, something to do.
Yeah, I'm terrible at I really like single malt whiskeys and stuff, but like I'm terrible at like I'll watch like a video of someone like reviewing it and doing the tasting notes, and I'm like, I don't understand any of those. Like I don't know.
Yeah, whiskey's it's hard to get past the alcohol, but once you do, there's a lot of subtle flavors.
I always
associate
associate whiskey with like IPAs, like just for like my fiance. She doesn't like IPAs, right? And I'm like, she likes stouts and stuff. But I'm like, to me, aren't some IPAs like when you first take a sip of whiskey, you get all the booze and stuff. With IPAs, you get all the hops. But like as your palate gets used to it, you start getting all the undertones and stuff.
The like sour beers are more like that for me. Like when you first take a sip of like a sour beer, like it's super sour, and then and then you start to get used to it,
Yeah.
and then you can actually taste what it tastes like.
Right.
I had my first couple of Drecker beers the other day. I had 2 different kinds of brains. Those are really good, but they're not like that sour. They're a little bit like I call them like tart, but they're filling. You know, you get that smoothie viscosity, and it's like sometimes it's just like you drink. I actually drank 2 back to back the other day, and I was like, wow, this is too much. You know,
So you're up in the Massachusetts area, right?
Rhode Island.
Oh, Rhode Island. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in Western New York, so we have like all the Mortalis, all that crap here.
Mortalist.
So funny story, which I meant to put in the group chat, but I didn't. So I posted in the group chat. What was it? Yesterday, 2 days ago. Katie went out and got drinking beers, and she came back with some other beers and a 4-pack of Imprint Smoothie, but it was like pineapple upside down cake or whatever. And so when we did the Extreme Beer Fest thing, what was that, like a year and a half ago? Almost. One of the beers was a Mortalis beer. And she was like, yeah, I got it because I thought it would be like that. I was like, no, this is not that.
I had a couple of the smoothies from Imprint. Joe from the Beer Patrol, when he came down to visit us, he stopped to a place that had some and brought. There was a pistachio ice cream one, and oh my god, it was like if you took pistachio ice cream and just let it melt and then just drank it with a slight carbonation. That's exactly what it was like.
Sounds good.
And to be fair to Katie, she doesn't really care about beer. She just like, she didn't know. But
Yeah, I don't know. Like Nicole doesn't really, like I said, she'll tolerate a stout, but she's all about the fruited beers, like a Just Fruit from Frequentum, or Mortalis Hydra, or Bath Bomb from Fifth Frame. She'll fuck with that. Other than that,
I had one of these earlier. Then I had their rainbow sherbet, but this is a collective art. It's the berry banana. So
okay,
sour.
Nice.
Too many sours, though. It starts to give you a little bit of heartburn. You calm down on those.
I'll tell you what, man.
Yeah, I take
one more.
Oh, go ahead.
Keith. I was gonna say when we're done with the stream, DM me back on IG. I'll send you some fruited beers from my area.
That'd be awesome, man. Appreciate it, bro.
I was just gonna say, I take Tums on the regular now.
Yeah, right. I hear you. Yeah, especially if you're drinking liquor. Yeah, I had the other day. I had a Punk Daddy by Greater Good. That's sour. That's like Warhead sour. I don't know if you ever had that one.
No.
Huckering sour.
Ironically, have you had one of the Warheads beers yet?
No, I think they're kind of gimmicky. I heard they weren't that great.
Yeah.
Oh, I just bought a place near me. I don't know if it's something that they do or if the brewery that does them, but they had a 4-pack, a mixed 4-pack of the Warhead beers.
I think that's what they normally do.
Do they?
Somebody else was telling me that it's not really all one flavor.
Oh.
I guess they do that.
So I bought one of those. I haven't had any of them yet.
But originally they made that beer for the Extreme Beer Festival, I think.
Did they?
Yeah, I think so. The Warheads sours or whatever.
But if you're looking for like crazy sour, you got to look into like Cascade Brewing and where's some of the other ones? Rare Barrel? Does Rare Barrel do like the crazy sours?
Yeah, not Cascade level stuff, but yeah.
No.
But like, but that's like I think we're talking about like lacto sours, whereas like the other ones you're talking about are like IPA, like fruit smoothie sours. That's a whole different ball game. You know what I mean? Like the real sours, the Cascade sours, are it's like there's no redeemable sweetness or anything. You know, it's just like it's just literally like just this acid attacking your mouth.
Yeah.
Stefan has a whole couple paragraphs here.
Goose, Cantillon goose. See, and then like you know he's Stefan is talking about goose, and as far as I think goose is one of the best sour styles, but you're talking about like it's completely different. I mean, it's like like technically they classify. Here we go. Olympics. They technically classify curling as a sport the same way they classify NFL as a sport. You know what I mean? Like the people that are curling, that I see curling, they're ripping beers and cheeseburgers. You know what I mean? They're not the same thing. So, like goose, like Cantillon, or even goose in general, to like even like compare them to the sours that we're talking about is like a disservice to goose. But I mean, like I don't think people who drink goose would like. I don't think they're offensively sour. Let's put it that way. I think they're welcoming sour. You know, they're not
like make your lips pucker. You know.
Yeah, like a lot of the sours that are made from the people like whatever Drecker, 450 North, or whatever you want to call them, Answer or whatever. It's usually just a sharp tartness and a lot of sweetness. That's it. It's almost like you can just go buy a bottle of vodka, some bitters, and some like go to Jamba Juice, and then you're good to go. Whereas a goose, that's not even. It's not even the same thing. It's like a completely different thing. So
yeah. This I couldn't get it to focus, but this is it's a sour IPA with tangerine, mango, pink guava, peach, juniper berries, lime zest, vanilla, and lactose. This is these guys are local to me. This is Proclamation Ale Company.
Oh yeah, I know. Proclamation makes good beer.
Yeah, I've been enjoying a lot of their stuff lately.
But Stefan his second comment kind of echoes exactly, I guess, what I said right now, which is riding away with. So you're basically talking about manufactured kind of kitty fruitness versus actual like sour beer, and that's the delineation that needs to be made. Like it's almost like you said, like it would be like, okay, who here has watched Eastbound and Down?
I haven't.
Danny McBride is awesome.
Yeah. So in the point in the first season of Eastbound and Down, when like Danny McBride's talking to the girl, the girl he wants to be with again, and then the principal shows up and he talks about being a triathlon, and Danny McBride's like, I'm not trying to be the best at exercising. You know what I mean? Like when he says that because he tries to say I'm an athlete too. That's what it's like when you're talking about these sour IPAs versus like Goose and Lambic. It's like like the Goose would look at that Drecker sour and be like, we're not the same thing, man. Like I don't know why you're trying to relate me with you. Like we're not. It's not even a thing that we can connect each other with. There was like just because it's called a sour IPA doesn't mean it's a sour beer. Like,
That's why I drink Muckraker.
So curious, East Coast, that fruited beer from Proclamation, what does that go for like a 4-pack?
Which one?
The first one you showed, the fruited one.
I think it's like see, it's weird, right? So if you buy it at like a liquor store, I think they get them cheaper. So I paid like $16.50, but if you actually go to the brewery, they go by cans. So it's like $5 a can. So it's like $20 for a 4-pack.
So I heard you guys had a stream maybe last week, and Miscellaneous was talking about price point. He's like, this was $20 or whatever. It's like, that's expensive. Like here, like for like Mortalis Hydras and stuff, you're looking at $25 a 4-pack. Yeah,
well, he was telling me about some other beers that you can get up there with like 25, 30, even some. I think some company was telling me that they like some 4-packs go for like $40.
Yeah, I think there was a stream where we talked about because I had commented and I said, yeah, they just got 450 North regular like in my bottle shops here. It was like it's $42.99 a 4-pack.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I'm like, never ever would I buy that for $42.99 a 4-pack.
You could, when you go to like the convenience store and they have the alcoholic slushies. Like they have the thing that spins that has alcohol in it, and then you can just get a to-go cup. It's like $1, man. Why don't you just fucking buy that?
Yeah, see, I only have liquor stores around here. They don't sell beer or liquor in anything but a liquor store. So you can't go to a gas station.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to be silly and joke about it, but it's like why spend $40 on that 4-pack when you could go buy margarita mix at Wegmans and some Everclear, and then you're literally ending at the same thing. You're like literally like there's no difference.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like if 450 North continued to be like the only guys on the block, maybe I'd consider it. But like they aren't the only guys on the block now. Like a lot of other companies are making these heavily fruited beers or heavily fruited drinks, I'll say.
Yeah.
For like Mortalis, right? We've all had Mortalis, well, except for maybe East Coast, but
yeah, I've never had
Mortalis is probably, if not better than 450 North. You know what I mean? For 25 a 4-pack or whatever. Like I said, the Just Fruits from Frequentum.
Is 450 North even good? I haven't had anything from them.
I've had one. Joe would be the guy to ask. Joe's had a lot, I think. I think
you guys think about barley wines. You guys like barley wines?
Oh
yeah.
You just
it.
hit Matt's secret
Love
spot.
I like.
Have you tried the Nemesis? The Nemesis I have right now. For some reason, I think it needs to age a little bit longer. It's so bitter. It's like so dry, hop resin, bitter.
It's an American it's an American barley wine then.
Yeah.
So English barley wines don't really. They're not all that hoppy. So yeah.
So
I feel like it would be
during Beer Tuber Palooza. Have you ever heard of Revolution Brewing, East Coast?
No.
Okay. So they're out of Chicago. During Beer Tuber Palooza, one of Matt's subscribers had sent off a couple of barley wines from Revolution Brewing. Was it VSOJ, very special jacket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like an English barley wine, but it's like multiple years of
bourbon barrel aged. Yeah,
blended.
English barley wine. Yeah. Yep.
This was hands down in my top 5 beers of all time I've ever tried. Like that beer was just insanely smooth. It was just out of control. And that's when I learned the difference between American barley wine and English barley wine. Like right there and then, I knew. Like my only barley wine before that was ever like Bigfoot. Like I hadn't gotten into it, and then I tasted this. I'm like, this is barley wine, and it was just like eyes opening, just like the universe expanded, and I'm just like, holy shit. And now I'm chasing that dragon, and I'll never be able to catch that dragon.
Have you had the Springdale bourbon barrel aged? It's 100% rye malt, I believe. That's pretty good. I like that one.
Oh, I have a bottle of that. I haven't drank it yet.
Springdale?
Yeah, it's a 2019, I think.
Yeah, I think mine might have been 2018, 2019. I like that. It was really maple syrup forward, but it was good. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, that's like a lot of like Springdale. So Springdale is the ale fermented side of Jack's Abbey. So Jack's Abbey is a lager brewery, and all they make is lagers. Springdale is the same exact brewery, but they do ale yeast instead of lager yeast. So a lot of their barrel aged products are actually, if you've ever had Framing Hammer from Jack's Abbey, like Jack's Abbey bourbon barrel aged Framing Hammer.
I've heard good stuff about.
But that's like that's the lager version of the Springdale version. You know what I mean? So there's like Jack's Abbey existed before Springdale. So basically, what happened was Jack's Abbey opened, and they just were like, we just make lagers, and eventually they're like, shit, we want to make more than just lagers. So they said, screw it, we'll just start a new brewery called Springdale. It's like literally, if you go visit Jack Abbey, you go in there, you hang out and drink lagers and eat pizza, and then you walk out. You walk halfway down the block, and you walk in the same building, but on the other end, and that's Springdale. So it's like the same exact brewery, but they make really good beer. So I wouldn't doubt that beer was pretty tasty.
Yeah, Bumpy had the French toast one the other day.
Framing Hammer, yeah.
Yeah, the French toast one. Yeah, he said it was pretty good.
Clayton, I'm ignorant. VSOR, Matt.
I think he just meant to hit J instead of R, maybe.
No,
it's
they just dropped
very
VSOR.
special old rye. It's probably
okay.
the rye or something different. I don't know. Clayton lives like 20 minutes away from the brewery. He's more up on the Revolution terminology than I am.
Wait, he lives 20 minutes from there, and he's not sending all of us all of
know, right?
Revolution. all
I'm
of the
speculating, but he lives in the vicinity. He lives Keith distance away, which is he can go there whenever he wants.
See, like, I was gonna say I'm like super jelly, but then people look at me like, "Fuck you, you're the same thing," because I'm like 5 minutes from other half.
Well, I would say you're like 15 minutes from Genesee, but 6 to 1.
Oh fuck Genesee, that dude's trash.
Don't you think 5 minutes is kind of far, Dan?
Depending on the day.
What's your thought on peanut butter beers?
I enjoy peanut butter beers when it's peanut butter.
Yeah, when it's that chalky, powdery shit.
It's just so, I don't know, to me, if I was a brewer, I don't know if anyone here has ever made beer or anything, but if I was a brewer, I would think that was one of the hardest adjuncts to pull off.
Yeah, it is
Because
very
if you're
hard.
advertising peanut butter versus peanuts, like, it's hard to...
Well, you actually can't put traditional peanuts or peanut butter in beer. There's the oils in them actually kill the beer, so you can't do it. That's why they have to use PB2, which is the hydrogenated oil restricted product that they put in it. But it's just a matter of balance. You know what I mean? Like, peanut butter is great. You can give me a fucking Mass Landing fucking Gunner's Daughter. I'm fucking the happiest dude in the history of mankind.
That is beer, like, I don't know why, but I hold all...
Oh,
all
yeah, because
stouts
it's
that are under 6% ABV to that.
not even that. No, it should be the opposite. You should hold every beer up to 11 because that beer is 5% and it drinks like 8-10%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're telling me this beer is 5% and it drinks that good, and these motherfuckers up at 8, 9, 10% can't pull that shit off. Go fuck it.
Gunner's Daughter. It's a special beer.
I like
And
the,
it's cheap and it's
the
I'd
Vito
like,
one.
I'd like to get my hands on the vanilla variant.
You guys try the PB and Jams by Vito?
No.
That's pretty good. I like that one.
Do we get anything
Lager.
other than the purple haze stuff around here?
The what?
Do we get anything from Abita other than like the purple haze? There might
To
be
be
like
honest,
one
if we
other
do,
one.
I don't even. When I see the word Abita, I just keep going. I just don't process. So. No,
The
I'm
PB
dead
and
serious.
I would give the PB and Jams a shot. It's not bad.
I
It's actually like a good peanut butter. It's not that chalky, powdery peanut butter.
Purple Haze is one of the first beers I ever bought. Like when I first saw Beers of the World, when I was starting to get into craft beer, I went to Beers of the World, and I remember like Middle Ages was one of the first. Old Rasputin,
The
Purple
the prices
Haze. I picked up
Some of the
Young
prices
Double
are cheap.
Chocolate. Picked up Boddington's and O'Hara's Irish Stout. Like, it's weird that I remember that. That's so long ago. But I just remember that first 6-pack of, like, that first experience of Beers of the World.
Well,
you know?
to give you like a little bit of like just kind of like I don't know what the word would be, but like kind of perspective. The people that make banana bread beer, you know what I'm talking about, right? Banana bread beer, you've seen it. Make one of the best beers in the world. Same company.
Wait, who?
Well,
banana bread beer. You know that banana bread beer? Like it's the big bottle. It's this banana bread. And
Oh no,
hot garbage.
Katie just bought one of those. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
She bought a 4-pack of it.
They
That's
that's the same. That's
It's Eagle,
John Courage Brewing, and they also make Courage Russian Imperial Stout.
It's oh, it says like Eagle Brewing or something. On it.
The one you posted
Wow.
looks different. I don't know if maybe they changed who makes the beer or whatever, but
Yeah.
Courage, it was all Courage Brewing is the ones who made the banana bread beer, and they also made the Imperial Russian Stout, which is like one of the best beers in the universe. So you can have a beer that just makes all their beers are hot garbage except for Courage Russian Imperial
Wait,
Stout.
Matt, if you buy 2 12-packs of Genesee dry hopped, you get a free T-shirt.
I saw
Genesee.
that, man. But I will say this, is that, like, right before I went on my beer hiatus, I bought 2 12-packs of dry hop cream ale. So last night, I was like, okay, I'm going to play some video games. I want to have a couple beers. I didn't review anything. I just wanted to have 1 or 2 beers. And I just grabbed a couple of dry hops. I drank 3. All 3 were quite tasty.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Oh, so they need like 6 months all the time.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
All right, I'll have to
Yeah,
go.
it's weird. So not Clayton. Clayton says 2 hours away, but Matthew says
Yeah.
he lives 20 minutes away from.
I was
Redmond.
confusing
Well,
my
2
Claytons and Matthews.
2
Yeah.
hours. 2 hours away is
Both their last
20
names end in ER, so I was confusing them.
two,
Matthew,
2 hours.
Hey, buddy, how's it going? I'm Dan.
Yeah, 2 hours away is 20 minutes in Dan time.
Oh, here we go. Jesus Christ. Whatever. So we just did Stout Month at Frequentum, and then went out with a big bang. They got a bunch of tap takeovers, KCBC, Tin Barn, Mortalis, Other Half.
I gotta go eat
The
dinner
frame.
now, so I'm gonna go do that.
But
You
they
go
brewed
what?
Frequentum made a peanut butter granola stout.
I'll see you guys later.
See you later.
Bye,
Bye,
Keith.
Me.
I don't like that view. No, people do it.
I hate it.
What is that? Oh, hold on.
Sunday morning.
It's a brewery called W.E. Yerbacher, and it's their bourbon barrel aged coffee stout called Sunday Morning
Nice.
Stout.
That reminds me of SpongeBob. He is SpongeBob.
So we've yet to release the review, but me and Mike did. We made a Craft Shack order, and actually one of your videos, Matt, influenced me a little bit because I heard you talk about it. You had a bottle from somebody from Microphone Brewing, had like a baby.
Smells like bean spirit.
Yeah. So I recognized that name, and they did a collab with Untitled Art. They made a hazelnut stout. They did a base version and a barrel aged version. So I bought a can of the barrel aged. We reviewed it. It was great.
Yeah. Now that Microphone Brewing makes great stouts, and Untitled Art. It seems like they collab like with everybody, but they make really good beers too. So, yeah, the one of the bigger kind of like me being like whatever, I don't care. But someone sent me Untitled Art like a ice boxed barley wine. So it was like a 23% barley wine or something like that. It was
Holy
like
shit.
basically like it was like ice boxing is basically iced beer is basically like so an ice box is basically like a double box. So you're drinking Celebrator. Okay, so a ice box would be like you take a box which is like 6, 7, 8%, and then you would take it and you put it in a barrel and you take it outside in the winter and it would freeze water off, and then you open it up and then take that ice and throw it away so the beer's higher ABV. So it basically the first thing to freeze is non-alcohol, so to freeze off just the water base. So you're basically what you're doing is increasing the strength of the beer through freezing. And Entitled Arts actually did that with barley wine. So they took like a 15-16% barley wine, they iced it, and then basically they bottled a like 20%. I like someone sent me a review, and it was the beer I took with me for when my kid was born. So when my kid was born, that was the beer I drank, and I didn't review it. I was like, I'm not reviewing it. I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy my kid and drinking this awesome beer and like celebrating my kid being born. So I kind of feel bad because someone sent it to me to review, but I was like, fuck that.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like I find, I haven't been lucky enough, but I will say in the past 3 months, me and Mike have received numerous beer mails from a lot of people. Basically, we have a shit ton of beer to review, and with me and Mike doing a duo thing, it's really kind of hard to be able to schedule something to get through all these beers. And I had mentioned to one of the guys, Jeff, I said, hey, if we didn't review everything, would you be heartbroken? He's, nope, it's your beer, do whatever you want with it.
No,
I was like, okay, but we end up reviewing everything, but
yeah.
I just kind of put a feeler out there.
Well, that's my kind of take on things now. Like if I review it, it gets reviewed. If not,
Right.
I've kind of set myself to a, kind of right now it's a 3 review limit per week as far as releasing. Like I just want to release like 2 to 3 reviews a week.
Right.
So I can have, if I want to have a beer, and it just so happens that somebody sent it, and I'm like, I'm just gonna have it instead of reviewing it. So be it. And everybody knows that. I've kind of touched base with people and said that, and nobody cares. But
And the other day, it's all right.
Smut Labs, Smutty Nose. I love Smutty Nose, man.
Nice.
Yeah, they're
Okay, it's kind of that chalky peanut butter,
What's your schedule look like? I mean, do you have a set schedule? Like when you review stuff, do you say, okay, I'm reviewing beer this month, I'm reviewing whiskey, or is it just whatever you drink and you're like, you know what, I want to review this kind of thing? Or
it's always random. I usually try to do. Recently, I've been trying to get some whiskey reviews out there because sometimes it just gets overwhelming with the amount of beer reviews that I have. I have like almost 20 to 30 beer reviews lined up. I got a bunch of stuff that I just want to put out there.
Right.
But I also have a lot of whiskey reviews that I want to do. And it's hard to keep up with just like a straight liquor review channel because, there's people that want to see beer reviews, there's people that want to see whiskey reviews. But lately, hanging out with the beer community and doing live streams, and I've been doing brewery reviews, which is one of the live streams I do, and then I do Rate That Beer, which is like a live stream review, have people jump on the panel and stuff. But I've been trying to do more whiskey reviews, and I've been trying to do more like liquor reviews because that's kind of what my channel's always been about. It hasn't been strictly on one thing, and it's kind of hard to jumble all that in one channel. It's like,
right.
But I also have I have times where I'm wicked into whiskey, and then I have times where I'm wicked into beer. So it's not necessarily scheduled. It's more like, what am I feeling? Kind of like
when you say whiskey, do you do like all whiskey, or is it predominantly bourbon?
I do a lot of bourbon. I like Scotch as well. I'll do American whiskey. I try to do flavored whiskey here and there because that's popular. But yeah, for the most part, it's usually bourbon.
Well, I'm just curious because I'm a Scotch guy. Like when you do Scotch whiskey, is it specific styles of Scotch or just random stuff? Because most people lean into the Islay stuff, and
I like
I'm not a big guy. Yeah, I'm not a big, and I was just curious because it's like I used to do a bunch of like crazy Scotch shit back in the day.
Yeah, I like all the fruity stuff too, though. More the what is it?
Space side. Yeah, I'm a space
like
side kind of guy. Glenmorangie, that's like northern.
Morangi, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, they actually do some good stuff. I'm not really a big fan of like blended Scotch. For some reason, blended Scotch tastes like apple juice to me a lot of the time.
No, single malt Scotch is where it's at, but like
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I had a friend get me for my birthday. They bought me a bottle of Redbreast 12-year.
That's good. That's Irish.
Yeah, that was really good. I enjoyed it.
That's actually made by that's Middleton, which is also known as Jameson. But they do the Redbreast, and I've actually tried. I think I tried like the 15. We had the Middleton distributor when I used to work at a liquor store.
Isn't it Diageo owns all those though?
They could. Diageo owns a lot of stuff, but the distillery itself is called Middleton, and they do like Jameson and Redbreast and Middleton is another popular Irish whiskey. But what they're known for and what their flagship is the Jameson.
Well, that's like with a lot of the Scotch whiskeys that I drink. Like, like some of my favorites would be like Glen Grant or Strathesla and stuff like that. But it's all under Gordon MacPhail because Gordon MacPhail basically is the company that like buys all those distilleries.
Yeah,
Like they literally they haven't made Scotch in 20 years, but they have barrels and barrels full of it. So this company basically buys up all these kind of gone under Scotch distilleries and basically bottles stuff under their own name and stuff like that.
So,
well, yeah, that's
so
like that. Oh, I'm sorry. You can go.
I was going to ask, how do you guys prefer to drink yours? Meat?
Oh, I go neat. I go neat.
I'm a blasphemous person. I drop a small little piece of ice in mine. That's how I like mine. I know that.
You know what I like to
most
do?
people like, but
This is someone's cat.
Yeah, that's my guy.
You know what I like to do? So I don't like to. So whiskey on the rocks. Sometimes I do enjoy that, but most of the time I do it neat. But what I really like to do is during the cooler weather, 40, 50 degrees outside, you go out and sit on your porch. You put the bottle on the table, sit in the chair, you pour it out, and the temperature outside gives the whiskey a nice little chill, but it's not like cold like you threw an ice cube in it. But it gives it that nice little chill, and you're not diluting it, and it kind of calms down that alcohol. It kind of calms down that ethanol burn on the nose. You can get a good nose on it. That's how I like to really enjoy whiskey. Sit outside, a little bit cooler temperature, and that's awesome for me. Because you're not diluting it, you're not throwing water in it, you're not cooling it down with the ice cube. It's not getting really, really cold, but it's got that little bit of chill to it. Like, I don't like drinking whiskey like in the. I like it in the summertime sometimes, but like you drink like a barrel proof and it's summertime, and you're in your house and it's like 70, 80 degrees and you're drinking whiskey, you're sitting there sweating. It's like, why am I drinking this stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, I started getting into it and then I stopped. It was like I started getting into all the whiskeys and the scotches and stuff, and then I found craft beer and that like took over. And like I still enjoy those, but I just never really evolved my knowledge of whiskey or bourbon, or I just kind of drink, what comes to me.
Yeah. This on the nose has like a really good peanut butter aroma. But it's got that like chalky kind of powdery peanut butter on the palate, and then like a dark chocolate bitterness.
So, do you let your stouts warm up, or?
This actually I just pulled out of the fridge, so I probably should let this warm up a little bit, but I did notice that when you do let it warm and you let it sit there, it starts to get a little bit more flavorful and a little less bitter.
Yeah, I let my stouts sit out a little bit. When it comes to like triple IPAs, though, I like my triple IPAs actually ice cold. I like to start them ice cold and then go from there. Because by the time you get done with it, you're not warm, but you're at that good temperature.
Yeah. I had CBS for the first time the other day.
Oh, nice. What'd you think?
I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I had the 2018 release.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's really good. I
thought it was going to be a lot more maple syrup forward, but it's not really. It's kind of balanced.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just too bad they got the whole Founders thing going on.
I think they're discontinuing them.
they
stopped making CBS.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that every year or so and then bring it back. Like, it's going away. Bring it back.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Bring it back.
Honestly, out of their most recent releases is I like the KBS Mackinac Fudge. That's really good. I enjoyed that. But I don't know. Yeah, Founders has that whole thing going on, so it's like I don't know.
I like the Dirty Bastard by them.
Yeah, the Backwoods Bastard.
I haven't tried that one.
Okay.
Seen it, but I definitely.
Yeah, I mean, if you can find that with some age on it, grab it, man. It's good.
Have you guys seen the Old Baptist I had the raspberry. Oh, I got a bottle of it.
The Epic Big Bad Baptist. Is that what you're
Big
talking about?
Bad Baptist, yeah, the Epic Brewing. This was the chocolate raspberry. That was pretty good.
Yeah, they make those like old guard stouts like that, or even like Eclipse, or you're never gonna go wrong with those. Those
Yeah.
bottles are pretty good.
It was funny though. The other day I went to the beer store or one of my bottle shops. I'm looking for beer and I look up and on top of one of the coolers, there's like fucking 20 Bourbon County Coca-Colas sitting there.
Yeah.
I was like, man, people really hate this one. I think people hate that one more than they hate the.
I don't think it's a
the
hate thing.
Kentucky Fog.
I think it's a price point thing, man.
It's
I think
expensive.
it's
I
lost
saw it
its
today for,
luster
like,
to a certain
$45.
extent, and people just like,
Yeah.
why would you pay 25, 40, 30, whatever bucks for it? Why?
Yeah, I saw that today. It was 25. And the other ones were like 14, 15.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought one of each this year that I could get my hands on. The biggest one being that Toasted Barrel Elijah Craig one, which
Well, they make a Toasted Barrel Bourbon County.
yeah. So this year,
That sounds good. 'Cause I got the regular.
help me out, Matt. Wasn't it like 1 year and 2 year old barrels?
I don't remember, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
This stuff is like liquid s'mores.
Here, let me look it up.
This is good.
Gentlemen, I'm going to have to leave.
All right, man.
All right, man.
Okay. So it was good chatting with y'all. And yeah, I will. How do I end my broadcast on here, Dan?
You
Like if
should-
you guys keep going, but I stop mine. You know what I mean?
Oh, if I just hit remove, and I think it'll get rid of it. Like your drop down menu, hit remove.
Oh, there you go. Okay, gentlemen, enjoy your night.
Bye, Matt.
Liquid s'mores. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Keith is still going, so
I enjoyed our banter.
there we go. Yeah.
Nice to meet you, man.
Bye, buddy.
Xbox